Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everyone, wherever you're at in the world. Welcome to Last Raps Baseball's live commentary of Major League Baseball. It is the second game that we are bringing you today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It will feature the Philadelphia Phillies and the Atlanta Braves. Both of these teams are in the National League East. Both have started off rather differently in the first 10 games. The Phillies have got off to a smooth 7-3 start. The Atlanta Braves have dropped 8 of their first 10. They are looking to trend in the other direction here. Their hitting has been very, very challenged over those first 10 games, and you'll see it in the reflection in their lineup, but they are going to be having some home cooking here today as they are going to be playing the Phillies here in this one. We're first of all going to give you the starting lineups for the visitors from Philadelphia. And leading off and doing the designated hitting is number 12, Kyle Schwarber. Batting second and playing shortstop is number 7, Trey Turner. Hitting third and at first base is number 3, Bryce Harper. In the cleanup spot and at third base is number 28, Alec Boehm. Batting fifth and in left field is the German number 17, Max Kepler. Batting sixth in right field is number 8, Nick Castellanos. Batting seventh and doing the catching is number 10, JT Realmuto. Batting eighth and at second base is number 5, Bryson Stott. And batting ninth in center field is number 16, Brandon Marsh. And they are going to be facing Grant Holmes, who takes to the hill tonight for the Braves. He's appeared in 2 games with 1 start. He's worked 5 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, 4 runs, all of which have been earned. He's walked 4 and struck out 5, and he's got an ERA at 7.20. Well, that's the starting lineup for the visitors from Philadelphia. Now your starting lineup for the hometown Atlanta Braves. Leading off in center field, wearing number 23, is Michael Harris II. Batting second at second base is number 1, Ozzie Albies. Hitting third and doing the designated hitting is number 20, Marcell Ozuna. In the cleanup spot and playing first base is number 28, Matt Olson. Batting fifth at third base is number 27, Austin Riley. Batting sixth and doing the catching is number 12, Sean Murphy. Hitting seventh in left field is number 14, Brian De La Cruz. Hitting eighth in right field is number 14, Jared Kelnick. And batting last and playing shortstop was number 11, Orlando Arcia. And they are going to be facing Taijuan Walker, who is going to be making his second start of the season. He has 1-0. He's worked 6 innings. He's allowed 3 hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. He's got himself an ERA of 0 across the board. Well, those are your starting lineups, and we're going to be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys who do check in with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. First pitch is just over 5 minutes away. It is going to be the Phillies and the Braves when we return after this. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight. We'll be right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are still a couple moments away from first pitch, as it is going to be a 4:10 Pacific time, but 7:10 local time first pitch in Atlanta tonight. And we're going to be right back in just a few moments after this musical timeout, as it will be the Braves and the Phillies from Truist Park. Hang tight, everybody. Welcome back, everybody. As we said, we're just a couple moments away to first pitch. The Braves, we talked about at the outset, have had some difficulty with the swings in their first few games of the season, or first 10 games of the season. Tonight, they only have one player that is hitting north of 241, and that would be Sean Murphy, who has seen limited plate appearances. And of course, he is hitting an even 500, but everybody else is below 241. It is a nasty looking lineup offensively. And usually with this lineup, you would think that there's always going to be 2 or 3 players that will be able to carry the mail, but not is the case so far yet in this one here. Last night, the Braves and the Phillies played, and the Braves were able to knock off the Phillies. They scored a couple of runs. Actually, they scored 4 runs late. The Phillies had themselves a 5-3 lead. Braves scored 2 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, 1 in the 8th to win 7-5 over Philadelphia. Hernandez ended up picking up the win. It was Orlin Kirkering who took the loss, and Iglesias got the save. So that may be a turning point here for them. The other game that is today, obviously with the starters of Grant Holmes and Taijuan Walker, and tomorrow it'll be Jesus Luzardo going for the Phillies against Spencer Schwellenbach. That is a 7:15 local start, and it will be a little bit earlier on the East Coast or the West Coast, as it will be a 4:15 first pitch. Tomorrow there'll be a limited amount of games. There's 6 games tomorrow, as the early games will be on the East Coast. There'll be some day games with the Rays and Guardians being hosts. And as you move a little bit further along, there will be other starts as well. Interesting enough that it'll be a 4 o'clock Eastern time start on that Red Sox Blue Jay game tomorrow. Curious to see if they may adjust that because of weather, like they did in Detroit with the Yankees and the Tigers. We're going to take just a 30-second musical timeout. We'll be right back in just a moment, as we'll give you all the action. Hang tight, everybody. We are still just a couple moments away from the first pitch, as it is going to be the Phillies and the Braves here in this one. A beautiful day in Atlanta, and it will be, as we said, Grant Holmes making his 3rd career start at Truist Park, going head-to-head against Taijuan Walker. Walker originally began his career in the Seattle organization, and Walker was dealt in a trade to the Diamondbacks. And then he started to have some injuries besiege him a little bit, but it looks like he has found himself back on pretty solid ground in Philadelphia. He has had some good years as Walker, as he was with the Phillies in 2023 when he won 15 games. He was coming off a 12-win season with the New York Mets. And he is a veteran that is added the depth to the staff. 32 years old. 6'4", 235 pounds is what he stands. He's originally from Shreveport, Louisiana. For Grant Holmes, who will be taking the hill for the Braves in this one. He as well, 6 foot 226. He's 29 years old. He's from Conway, South Carolina. Originally a first-round pick, 22nd overall by the Los Angeles Dodgers back in the 2014 draft. And so Holmes will be featured here tonight. As we said, he struggled a little bit. Last season, he appeared in 26 games. He did have 7 starts for the Braves. He worked 68 1/3 innings. He had 70 strikeouts, had a record of 2-1 with a 3.56 earned run average. It was a pretty decent debut for the right-hander, as he had worked himself, as we said, about just over 68 innings in last season. Well, we're going to take just a brief time out. We're going to come back in just a moment. Top of the first is just around the corner. We appreciate you guys for checking us out tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. First pitch is coming up as it is just around the corner. 7:15, the scheduled start. We were of the impression a little earlier that it was going to go off at 7:10. But 7:15 it is here for this one. It'll be Schwarber, Turner, and Harper to come to bat here, as the Braves have taken to the field, or are taking to the field. And we are about ready to get this one underway. We'll be back in just a couple moments. Hang tight, everybody. It is the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this. Phillies and Braves coming up here as they are taking to the field. As we mentioned, it is a 7:15 start and not quite the 7:10 that we thought it would be. So the Phillies are coming to bat here as the Braves wearing their home whites, ready to go as Grant Holmes is taking to the field. Kyle Schwarber, Turner, and Harper to come up to face him. Kyle Schwarber off to a heck of a start this year, as he is got a flashing the power already. 5 home runs in the early going here in the first 10 games. Schwarber is a cut above everybody else. Interesting, they still got him at a leadoff spot, but he is hitting .324 entering the season this year. Off to a pretty good start. Grant Holmes, as we said, making his 3rd appearance, his 2nd start of the year. We'll see how he fares here tonight, as he is just completing his warm-up tosses, and we are about ready to get this one underway. Phillies Braves in the top of the first inning. Braves looking to make it 2 straight over their division rivals, as they had knocked off the Phillies yesterday by the score of 7-5. As we said, everything came a little bit late. Just giving you some scores from around Major League Baseball. It is the Astros right now looking to finish off the Mariners. It is in the bottom of the 9th inning. It is 6-4 for the Astros. But the Mariners have the bases loaded with 1 gone and Julio Rodriguez at the plate. 6-4, Astros have the lead in that one. Other games that are going on right now, Guardians 3-1 up over the White Sox. Red Sox, Jays locked at 1s in the 2nd. Angels and Rays are just underway, as is this one here. Well, Kyle Schwarber striding to the plate. as he was ready to face Grant Holmes. A pretty healthy crowd here in Atlanta tonight. Watched that game earlier between the Tigers and the Yankees. There were certainly more seats than there were people in them at Comerica Park in Detroit, but that's a pretty frigid day and a tough day to watch a ball game when it is cold like that. So Schwarber, Turner, Harper here as we are ready to get this one underway. Grant Holmes has the ball. Schwarber is up to bat. And the home plate umpire tonight in Dan Marzell has instructed the first pitch, and it's a fastball that misses upstairs to Schwarber for ball one. As we said, Schwarber hitting .324, 5 homers and 11 RBIs. As the right-hander Holmes works himself to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. The umpires for tonight's game is Merzel is behind the plate. Mark Carlson is at first. Jordan Baker is the second base umpire, and Stu Sherwater is the third base umpire. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Schwarber batting from the left side here against Holmes. Gets himself dug in. He's ready to go again. As the catcher gets himself set up in Sean Murphy, and there's a breaking ball that just misses outside. It's now 3-1 to Schwarber. Going to have to go and attack the hitters here if you're Grant Holmes, especially early in the count. There's a good hitting count here for Schwarber, and they can make you pay, can the Phillies. There's a fastball that is swung on. It has popped up behind home plate. Or if he had a hard time seeing it, but it is going to drift itself into the seats, and that's going to run the count full to Schwarber. I would expect tonight with this pitching matchup to be a lot of runs potentially scored. And I would think that both teams are going to have to dig into their bullpens at some point. So 3 balls and 2 strikes to Schwarber. As Holmes kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Schwarber's in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the shortstop in Trey Turner. Well, for Turner, he's hitting .250 in the early going. He's got no homers and 1 RBI. One of the statistics that kind of frustrates me a little bit is the on-base plus slugging, as there's a fastball that misses up and away. The count is 1-0. They often flash that on the screens, or they tell you what their on-base plus slugging is. It really fails to take into account the stolen bases, because you have somebody like Turner at the plate, and if they can turn around a bunch of stolen bags, it's like hitting a double, as there's a breaking ball misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes to Turner. You think of players like Ellie De La Cruz, those who can run, just adds an extra dimension to them. There's a breaking ball that's waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 2-1. If you look at slugging percentage and on-base percentage independently, and then you take into effect the stolen bases, there's a breaking ball waved at again, and the count is 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies are in their road grays. It is the home whites for the Braves here tonight. Here comes the pitch from Holmes, who kicks and delivers. Breaking ball waved at him as 3 breaking balls in a row. Trey Turner had no chance on, and he is in the books for the second out of the inning. So back-to-back strikeouts to begin the game here for Grant Holmes. That is going to bring up the first baseman in Bryce Harper. Well, for Harper, he's hitting .275 in the early going. He's got a homer and 3 RBIs. Batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes, and the first pitch is a breaking ball waved at and missed. Count is 0-1. That's the same pitch that he threw Turner on the last 3 pitches of his at-bat. It must be something that's coming out of his hand that has the hitters fooled initially here. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes even at 1-1. Never really seen anything overpowering from Holmes, but certainly his breaking ball looks very, very similar in terms of the path, and then it just falls off the table. Here's the pitch. Another breaking ball, but this one misses outside, and the count goes to 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Holmes leaning in, getting the sign. He's working quickly here, even though they have the pitch count. Sometimes the pitchers work at an even more accelerated rate. There's a fastball that misses upstairs at 95 miles an hour, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls, 1 strike. Holmes again ready to go. Kicks and delivers. Breaking ball, taking it to the knees for a called strike. Harper had dropped the bat. Looked like he was ready to get rid of all of his equipment and make his way to first base, but the right hand of the home plate umpire, Dan Merzell, has brought him back. And that pitch, based on the K zone, showed it was a little bit low. Maybe Harper was right. So here's the 3-2 offering. Breaking ball swung on this one, hit foul down the first base line. Defensively tonight for the Braves, from left to right field, Dela Cruz is in left. The center fielder is Harris. The second right fielder is Kelnick. Around the horn, it is Olsen at first, Albies at second, Arcia at short, Riley at third. The battery of Holmes and Murphy. There's a breaking ball that swung on and fouled away. The count still remains at 3-2 to Harper. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Again, Holmes ready to go again. Works himself to the set. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that just misses upstairs, and that's going to be ball 4. And Harper's going to be aboard with a 2-out walk, and that'll bring up the third baseman, Alec Bohm, to the plate. Well, for Bohm, he has struggled out of the gate this year. He's batting an even 200. He's got no homers and 3 runs batted in. As he stands in here, ready to face the right-hander Holmes. And the first pitch is a fastball that swung on it, is lifted down the right field line, but it's going to slice into the seats. Count is quickly 0-1 to Bohm. So no balls and 1 strike. If you are new to the channel, don't forget to join us late night when we do the Japanese games. That is our forte. There's a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count goes to 1-1. And we said we're going to try to sneak in some more MLB games this year. And we're already off to the races in doing that. I think we've got 4. This will be the 4th one under our belt. Depending on what it is, we'll try to get ourselves in probably about 50 of these games through the year. There's a breaking ball swung on, and another one fouled away, and the count goes to 1-2. Our goal this season was to do about 150 games, and right now we're clipping along at a pretty good rate. You figure that we're with the classic qualifiers, some of the Japanese games already. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed. And that is going to do it for Alec Bohm. He's gone on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. Well, Holmes strikes out the side. Despite giving up a walk to Bryce Harper, there was no runs, no hits, no errors. There was the runner left aboard. We are through a half inning. Your score is the Phillies 0, the Braves coming to bat. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a couple of moments with all the action. Appreciate you guys jumping in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We got our friend Gracie Lynn back in for the doubleheader, and we got our friend Titus. God is great in the house. Appreciate you guys here. So it is going to be the top 3 hitters to come to bat for the Braves in their half of the first inning. It'll be Michael Harris, the second, Ozzie Albies, and Marcell Ozuna. Gracie Lynn says, nice top of the first there for the Braves. Yeah, with Only the one walk to Bryce Harper, striking out the side for Grant Holmes. Pretty efficient first inning for him. Well, Michael Harris coming to the plate. He is batting .250 on the young season. He's got a homer and a couple RBIs as he steps to the dish. As I said, when they give the statistics on TV, they give that on base plus slugging, as I was talking about in the last half inning. And to be honest with you, that makes me scratch my head a little bit. As I said, on base is important, slugging is important, but they don't take into effect the stolen bases. As the first pitch is swung on and fouled away by Harris, the count is 0-1. You get players like De La Cruz or even Esteury Ruiz, who quietly was sent packing by the Athletics to the Dodgers last week, as there is a changeup that misses down and the count goes even at 1-1 to Harris. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Gracie Lynch says not expecting much because Grant Holmes is on the mound. There's a fastball swung on, it's tapped slowly back to the pitcher, fielded neatly by Walker, who throws to first, and that's going to retire Harris on a ground out 1-3. He's in the books for the first out of the inning, and that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ozzie Albies. For Albies, he's off to a tough start as well, like most of the Braves hitters, batting an even .200 with a homer and 5 runs batted in. Has a very open stance here at the plate, and the first pitch is a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Jonathan in the house here, he says, I spent time on your channel last year during Braves games, and we welcome you back. Appreciate it, Jonathan. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-1. We are going to try to cause a pile more Major League games this year, that's for certain. There is a fastball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the right field line, and the count goes to 1-2. We don't always get an opportunity to call the games at this hour of the day, but we are going to try to squeeze them in on when we can on Mondays and Wednesdays. Breaking ball that is swung on, tap foul down the first base line again, almost in the same spot. Count remains at 1-2 to Albies. Jonathan says, yeah, I know you like calling those MPB games. Yeah, we're off to the races with those things this year. We've got a whole pile of them under our belt already. There is a fastball that is swung on and missed, and Albies is in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. Gracie Lynn says, I always look forward to your MLB games. I think we only did about maybe between 5 and 10 last year. We just don't, unfortunately, it's just not in the wheelhouse of the time that we can do them. And being on the left coast, it is more advantageous to be able to do the late night stuff. There's a first pitch breaking ball that misses down and away to Osuna, and the count is quickly 1-0. Jonathan says he changed his screen name. His old name was Yuki Matsui. Yeah, that's right. I remember that for sure. There's a ground ball that just goes past the bag, foul at third base, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike to Ozuna. Ozuna hitting .241 on the season with a homer and 5 runs batted in. He's got to get it going too, as do the Braves. They've just got too much potential and too much potency in this attack to be languishing where they are. Usually at least 1 or 2 guys get going at one time, and everybody right now is in the freezer with their bats, except for Murphy, who has come out firing. And there's a fastball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-1 on Ozuna. Gracie Lynn's got the good memory. She says, I remember that name from the streams last year. And there is a fastball that Ozuna tries to check his swing on and can't hold up, and it's going to run the count even at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. And so I don't get always a chance to watch the East Coast teams unless they come out to the West Coast. And here comes the offering. It is a breaking ball that just squirts away from JT Realmuto. It's going to run the count full to Ozuna. What we were doing is we were keeping an eye on that game between the Mariners and the Astros. And it looks like the Mariners had walked it off in that one. It was a 6-4 ball game for the Astros going into the 9th. And there is a breaking ball taken for a called third strike. Marcell Ozuna didn't like that at all. But he is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning, and that is going to do it here as the Braves go in order. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We are through one complete. It is the Phillies nothing and the Braves nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit. We appreciate you guys for hanging with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. It is Braves and Phillies. We'll be right back after this. You guys know we like to do the NPB games late at night. Be sure to join us on our Facebook group, NPB Japan Baseball Report, with all the updates. Well, here's a little piece that we run during our NPB games. Check it out. We'll be right back after this.
You are listening to live NPB commentary with Last Raps Baseball. Be sure to check out our podcast, The Japan Baseball Report, either on YouTube or wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to join our Facebook group as well. It is NPB Japan Baseball Report. Stay up to date with all the other followers who are a fan of the Japanese game.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Max Kepler, Nick Castellanos, and JT Realmuto to come to bat. That would be the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Phillies. Max Kepler, in his first season in Philadelphia, he'd spent a number of years in his career with the Minnesota Twins, signed on as a free agent on a one-year deal. Kepler is batting .172. He's got a homer and 1 RBI. He is yet to get it going here for the Phillies. Nice player is Kepler. He had signed as an international free agent out of Germany. That was I believe, the largest sum of money offered to a German player in their history, as there's a fastball taken for a called strike. Count as 0-1. He does have American ties because he's got a family that was, I believe, in the Texas area, if I'm not mistaken. And so he used to come across when he was a young kid and go to baseball camps in the summer. There's a fastball that misses up and away, and the count runs even to 1-1. It was 23 pitches in the first inning for Grant Holmes, who struck out the side. Nobody was able to get a bat on the ball as Bryce Harper had drawn a walk. We have to see the Braves defense at work. There's a breaking ball swung on, and this is lifted foul down the left field line, and it's going to slice into the netting. Runs the count to 1-2 on Kepler. So 1 ball and 2 strikes it is. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, I'll be watching Erie and Chesapeake tomorrow morning while on the plane home. Do you know any Orioles or Tiger prospects? There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded, and it gets through Orlando Arcia on his backhand side into left center field for a base hit. I assume they're going to give him a hit on that. Would be Kepler. Ball was hit hard. Truthfully, Arcia should have probably knocked that down a little bit better. The ball gobbled him up as he played it into an in-between hop. And so that is going to put Kepler aboard here. Gracie Lynn, I'm going to have to give you some thoughts on it. I know the Tigers have Roberto Campos, who they'd signed out of Cuba a few years ago. He's only 21 years old. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1 ball and no strikes. Jonathan says Orioles Sagano. Actually, Sagano had a pretty good start, his last start against the Royals. So his first start was a little wonky, but the last one he picked up the win. There's a breaking ball waved at it, missed, and the count is now 1-1. But Ogasawara was not doing very well. He was with the Nationals in spring training, and he was in a battle for the last spot in the rotation. And it was ticketed down to AAA. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's looped softly into center field. Coming in and making the catch is Michael Harris II, and that's going to retire Castellanos for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in JT Realmuto. So off the top of my head, Gracie Lynn, probably Roberto Campos, an outfielder for the Erie Ball Club, would be somebody to watch. I have to go back and take a look to see who exactly is in the Chesapeake lineup. I'm not sure if Enrique Bradfield Jr. or the Vance Honeycutter there if they're already at AAA. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count is 0-1 to Realmuto. And Gracie says, I saw Campos at high A. That would be correct. Yeah, he has moved along into AA. As the pitch is a fastball that catches the inside corner, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Realmuto. Realmuto only hitting .214 this year, no homers and 3 runs batted in. Off to a bit of a sluggish start. Veteran catcher. I think he's on the downside of his career now, as there's a fastball taken for a called third strike. Realmuto stood there like the house by the side of the road, and he watched that go by for out number 2. 2 in the books, and it's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Bryson Stott. And for Stott, well, he's hitting .250 in the early going. He's got a homer and 4 RBIs. Stands in batting from the left side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Gracie Lynn says her goal is to catch 2 games from every affiliated team this year. And there's a fastball that just misses outside, and the count is 1-1. Next Wednesday, I'm not going to be calling any games on Wednesday evening. I'm going to be going to see the Vancouver Canadians and the Eugene Emeralds, as he is there as well. There's a breaking ball that misses down. The count is 2-1. Emeralds are the Giants high A team, and the Vancouver Canadians are the Blue Jays. So kind of curious to check in on some of that. If you get a chance, go look at the box score from the game between Jupiter and Dunedin yesterday night. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 2-2 on Stott. Our friend Jonathan says, what's the pulse on Masanori Murakami? Is he coming to America next year? I understand he is, but I got to be honest with you. I saw him play a couple of years ago live. So there's a breaking ball that is down, and the count now 3 balls and 2 strikes to Stott as the Swallows third baseman. I don't like his footwork, although I have to say it is improving. It's getting better. I just don't know if he could play third base at the major league level. He might be more suited on the right side of the infield. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's tapped foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 3-2. And certainly the barrage of home runs that he has hit in the Japanese league, he's going to find out that that's not going to come as easy in North America. But I would probably put him to around 25 to 30 home runs. And as I say, they probably would move him over to the first base side of the infield. There's a breaking ball that is swung on. It is lifted into left field. Moving back on it and making the catch is the left fielder, Brian Dela Cruz. And Stott is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. So they waste a leadoff single off the bat of Max Kepler. But Grant Holmes settles down and retires the last 3 batters he faces. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We're moving now to the bottom of the 2nd inning. Your score is the Braves 0 and the Phillies 0. Stick around. We'll be back in a few. We appreciate you guys from hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. This is our friend Steve Rademacher. He's going to be with us throughout the night. Be sure to check out his channel, as this is an introduction to him. He's got all kinds of weird and crazy things. We'll be right back after this on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
This is Steve Rademacher, and I'd like to introduce you to my channel if you haven't seen it before. These are all the things I enjoy: sports, autographs, relics, non-sports Hall of Famers, pseudo-sports, Star Wars. That's my channel name and my name. and I would really appreciate it if you would come check me out and maybe even subscribe if you like it. Thank you for that for now, and back to your ball game.
Appreciate you there, Steve, and the support you give to our channel. In turn, we like to support Steve Rademacher. After the game, be sure to go check him out. Let him know that Last Raps Baseball sent you, as he has got some all kinds of crazy stuff on his channel. Well, we are skipping along here to the bottom half of the second inning. It's going to be the heart of the order to come to bat for the Braves. That means Matt Olson, Austin Riley, and Sean Murphy to face the right-hander Taijuan Walker here in inning number 2. Olson stepping to the plate, only hitting .229 here in the early going. As we said, the Braves struggling so far in the early parts of the season as he takes a breaking ball outside for ball 1. Normally, you'd think the Braves would be able to hit themselves out of trouble. There's a breaking ball that's taken for a called strike, and the count goes even at 1-1. Olson, with a homer and 5 RBIs in the early going, hasn't really got his power moving yet. But one would expect that will take place as the weather starts to warm up. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-1 to Olson. Walker kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that misses outside. It's now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. Honestly, Olson really never skipped a beat with the first base production after Freddie Freeman left, as there's a fastball swung on. It's lifted foul down the left field line. And the count is now 3-2 to Olson. Fans were lamenting Freddie Freeman's loss, but they got younger and they might have got better. There's a fastball swung on it. It's grounded on 1 hop over to Bryce Harper at first. He flips it to the pitcher covering. It's going to go down as a ground out, 3-1 for the first out of the inning. I'll bring up the third baseman in Austin Riley. Our friend Gracie Lynn says that the Braves moved their AA affiliate to a new city. They moved the Mississippi Braves out of Jackson and added them to the Columbus Clingstones in Columbus, Mississippi. So very interesting. Here comes the first pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away to Riley, and the count is 1-0. Riley batting .179 on the early going, a homer and 4 RBIs. Stands in on the right side here against the right-handed throwing Walker. And there is a breaking ball swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats behind home plate. Count runs even at 1-1. Riley digs back in, and Walker gets a new baseball ready to go. They've pretty much got him straight away. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on and grounded foul past the bag at third base, and the count goes to 1-2. We didn't give you the defensive lineup for the Phillies tonight, as we did for the Braves in their first inning. Left to right field, it's Kepler in left, Marsh in center, and the right field is Castellanos. There is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count remains at 1-2. Around the horn from first to third, Harper's at first, Stott is at second, the shortstop is Turner with the third baseman of Bohm. The battery is of Walker and Realmuto. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Riley. Last year, the Braves were really besieged with injuries. Riley, Michael Harris II, Albies, Acuna, all out for extended periods. There's a breaking ball swung out in the dirt, and Riley is down on strikes. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 up and 2 away, and that's going to bring up the catcher in Sean Murphy. Well, for Murphy, he was exactly what the doctor ordered last night for the Braves, as he had hit his first home run of the year. He stands in and he takes a first pitch fastball right down the middle for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. As we said, batting an even .500 with a homer and 4 RBIs. In the limited at-bats. There's a pitch that comes inside, and it has hit Murphy on the elbow. And he is going to make his way down to first base with a hit-by-pitch. Our friend Gracie Lynn says Texas discontinued their partnership with the Down East Wood Ducks and moved Hickory from high A to low A. Bro in Spartansburg, South Carolina, in at high A. I didn't really look too tightly at what was going on in the off season with the movement. We get a lot of the league in the Northwest League as the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball swung on and missed by Brian De La Cruz. De La Cruz batting 182 on the season, nothing on the slash line. Murphy is getting his lead over there at first base. Some players wear elbow guards on the lead arm, and Murphy chooses not to. There is a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. De La Cruz has himself in the hole here. He's getting the opportunity because there has been some injuries and, of course, suspensions. Jurickson Profar being suspended last week for PEDs. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-2. Gracie Lynn says she enjoys watching the Northwest League. You ever get a chance to see the Everett Aqua Sox play? I was at their stadium. They got a really unique ballpark. As the pitch on the way is a breaking ball swung on. It's lined to the left field. It's going to get down for a base hit. Rounding second and then throwing on the brakes is Murphy. He's going to stop as they go station to station. So a single here for De La Cruz advances Murphy over to second, and it's going to bring Jared Kelenic to the plate. Kelenic is batting 185 with a homer and 1 RBI. If you think of the outfield here, it probably would be, in the eyes of the Braves, would be Profar, Acuna, and Harris. But De La Cruz and Kelenic getting an opportunity to play every day. There's a fastball that swung on and it's grounded foul just past the bag at first base. Count is 0-1 to Kelenic. Kelenic has started to bounce around a little bit. He started his career with the New York Mets organization, was flipped to the Mariners. Played with the Mariners. He had some interesting times in Seattle. There's a fastball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-1. A little bit temperamental, had some run-ins with the umpires. So 1 ball and 1 strike. As the right-hander Walker delivers. Fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 1-2 on Kelenic. For insurance purposes, last week it was announced that the Braves had signed Alex Verdugo, who was looking for work. And certainly the audition of Kelenic, and, well, I don't say audition, Kelenic was with them last year, but De La Cruz, one guy's not going very well, it'll be time to move on and maybe bring up somebody else. There's a pitch that misses outside to Kelenic, and the count is 2-2. Wonder how patient Alex Anthopoulos would be with some of those players. There's a fastball that misses inside. Counts now 3-2 to Kelenic. Well, the runners are going to be on the move here as Walker will deliver the pitch. Runner at second, Murphy. Runner at first is De La Cruz. Right-hander holds set, checks the runners, kicks and fires. There's a fastball swung on, and it's hammered foul down the first baseline. Just past the bag. Foul territory. Count remains at 3-2. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn says actually they had made the news when Profar got suspended. Yeah, that's probably fair. Fastball swung on, grounded softly to second. Stott fields it, throws to first, and that's going to retire Kelenic on a ground out 4-3, and that's going to do it here for the Braves in their second inning. Well, they threatened, but they don't score. There was no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 2 runners left the board. Your scores, we move to the top of the third inning. It is the Braves nothing and the Phillies nothing. Stick around, everybody. We'll be right back in just a few with all the action. Appreciate you guys for being with us here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Phillies and Braves are moving to the top of the third. We'll be back after this musical timeout. It is Old School Radio on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Welcome back, everybody. We are skipping to the top of the third inning. It'll be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat for the Phillies. That means Brandon Marsh, Kyle Schwarber, and Trey Turner to face the starter Grant Holmes, who's coming back out for his third inning of work. Each team have a similar slash line, or it is no runs, 1 hit, no errors for both of the ball clubs here, as it is going to be the right-hander Holmes coming back out. Holmes had 39 pitches through his 2 innings of work. Check that Walker had 39 and Holmes was at 40. So both of them pretty much on the same pace or same spot. There's a fastball swung on. It is lifted foul over the third base side. Giving chase is Austin Riley, but that one is going to drift into the netting, and the count is 0-1 to Marsh. Marsh batting 167 on the year with a homer and 4 RBIs. Looks like he has not trimmed that beard since coming over from Los Angeles. As the pitch is a fastball that just misses up and in, and the count moves to 1-1 on Marsh. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Right-hander Holmes kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball that's swung on and fouled away, and the count now at 1-2 to Marsh. Holmes has 4 strikeouts so far in his first 2 innings of work. He has walked the batter and let a batter reach. He's not been able to quite put the Phillies away in order. Fastball misses upstairs, and Marsh, with good discipline, watches that one sail up top. So it is 2 balls and 2 strikes to the left-handed hitting center fielder of the Phillies. Again, Holmes getting his sign. He working quickly. Breaking ball, and that misses down in the dirt. The count goes to 3-2. Hopefully Trey Turner's watching that, as he had swung at 3 pitches in the dirt during his first at-bat. So here comes the 3-2 pitch as the right-hander delivers. Breaking ball swung on. It is lifted into shallow left field. Coming in on it with plenty of space is De La Cruz, and he's going to make the catch. 1 up and 1 away here in the third inning, and that's going to bring up the top of the order in Kyle Schwarber. The one thing when you get deeper into the rotations that you see with starting pitchers is the lack of pitch efficiency. That's what I would pick up here on with Grant Holmes. You hope that he can get you 5 innings and pass it over to the bullpen. I don't know if he's going to quite be able to reach the 6th. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-1. No balls and 1 strike to Kyle Schwarber. Schwarber 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his only at bat. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes even at 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. I have to say, you got to tip your hats to the Phillies. I would have never thought that a plug at the top of the order or a slug at the top of the order would work, but Schwarber has been able to do it for the last couple of years. It's rather unique to see. There's a ground ball hit over to first, fielded by Olsen. Tosses it underhand to the pitcher covering. That's going to go in the books as a ground out, 3-1. Schwarber's in the books for the second out. That's going to leave it up to the shortstop, Trey Turner. Well, for Turner, he is 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out his first time up. Batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes. He kicks and fires. It's a fastball that misses way upstairs. That was at 94 miles an hour. We've seen him touch 95. But generally speaking, it is 93, 94 for the right-hander. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Turner. This seems to be where Holmes struggles, where he's able to get the first couple outs, and then it's a battle to get the third. So here comes the 2-0 offering. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. The count is 2-1 to Turner. And as ironic as it is, we did our podcast yesterday. We're going to pop up another one tonight, and we'll have another one tomorrow. So there's a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count goes to 3-1 on Turner. So if you're so inclined and you're in the vicinity, be sure to check it out at some point. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. And Turner's going to be aboard with a 2-out walk. That's the second walk issued, and that's certainly tough when you set the table for Bryce Harper. Harper had himself a walk in the first inning. So he's still batting .275 with a homer and 3 RBIs. And there is a first pitch fastball that misses up and away, and the count is 1-0. He certainly wanted to be able to take care of Turner, make him hit his way on, rather than giving him the free pass. So Harper standing in here, going to do some damage. Here comes the pitch, the 1-0 on the way. Soft breaking ball that misses outside, and the count now is 2-0. Rather face Harper in the leadoff spot, then further down. And the pitch is on the way. It is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count now goes to 3-0. So 3 balls and no strike. As the right-hander again kicks and fires, it's a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count now is 3-1 on Harper. So 3 balls and 1 strike it is. And the right-hander delivers. It's a fastball that just misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4. So back-to-back walks issued here with 2 outs. Moves Turner over to second, and Harper now aboard at first. That's going to bring up the third baseman and Alec Bohm. Well, for Bohm, he is 0 for 1. He has struck out his only time to the plate. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. And now time has been called as the Braves pitching coach is making a slow saunter to the mound. And rightfully so, as it looks like that all of a sudden Grant Holmes is now showing up as Grant Holmes. This is Rick Kranitz, who was on his way to the hill. So interested to hear these very animated conversation with his right-hander here. I just can't quite fathom all the coaches that are on the staff today, or at least how they list them today on the staff. Brian Snitker is the manager. Walt Weiss is the bench coach. He also works with the infielders. Hitting coach is Tim Hires. But then they've got 2 assistant hitting coaches. Hugh Quattlebaum and Carlos Mendez. And then, of course, they have the pitching coach, and then they have a bullpen coach and all kinds of stuff. I remember back in the day when it was like 5 coaches, and that was it. Breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count goes even to 1-1. So I guess the good news is there's a lot of jobs. The bad news is there are a lot of people with an opinion, one would have to say. And to keep everybody on the same page, there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2 on Bohm. So whatever the pitching coach Kranitz said to the pitcher Holmes, keep doing it. Seems to be working. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Here comes the offering from the right-hander. Breaking ball, waved at and missed. That was in the left-handed batter's box. That was almost Javi Baez-esque, as Bohm is going to go down on strikes for the 3rd out of the inning. And that will do it here for the Phillies. Well, they had no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, but they stranded a pair of runners. We're now moving to the bottom of the third. Your score is the Braves 0 and the Phillies 0. Stay with us, everybody. We'll be back in just a little bit with all the action. Appreciate you guys for listening in tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this.
Well, you got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. That is our friend Matt Hollis, as he keeps us entertained at times in between innings. It is going to be the 9, 1, and 2 hitters to come to bat. That means Orlando Arcia, Michael Harris II, and Ozzie Albies to face the starter Taijuan Walker here in inning number 3. Grant Holmes, 63 pitches in his 3 innings of work, and Walker, 39 pitches in his 2. Based on those numbers, I would say we are probably not going to see them much past beyond the 5th inning, if at all, as it'll probably end up being a battle of the bullpens. So that is going to bring Arcia to the plate. He has not had a plate appearance yet in tonight's game. He's batting 188. And the first pitch is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away. The count is quickly 0-1. Arcia came over to the Braves, and he's been the regular shortstop. Before being with the Braves, as he swings and fouls that pitch away, he was with the Milwaukee Brewers. And so certainly Arcia has found a home in Atlanta. You fouled that one off. It had gone into the Braves dugout. Everybody was diving for cover. There's a pitch. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So a ball and 2 strikes. We're here in the bottom half of the 3rd inning. Phillies and Braves locked at zeros. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Arcia waggling the bat, waiting on the offering. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 3-2 to Arcia. Again, Walker working quickly. There's a fastball swung on and missed. Arcia is going to be gone on strikes for the first out of the inning. And by our count, that is the 4th strikeout today by the starter Taijuan Walker. So 1 in the books. A little bit of movement over the last couple of days, as the Braves had outrighted Chadwick Tromp to the Gwinnett Stripers. Almost said Strippers. That would be an interesting team name. There's a fastball swung on, grounded up the middle off the bat of Harris, fielded by the second baseman Stott on the run. He throws to first. It's going to be a ground out, 4-3 for the second out of the inning. It's going to leave it up to the second baseman, Ozzie Albies. Other movement, the Houston Astros traded pitcher Rafael Montero and cash to the Braves for a player to be named later. And in a corresponding move, the Braves optioned right-handed pitcher Zach Thompson to Gwinnett. As the first pitch breaking ball is swung on and fouled away, the count is 0-1 to Ozzie Albies. And they have activated Rafael Montero as well, as he is on the 40-man roster, or now on the active roster. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses low, and the count is 1-1 to Albies. Always have to keep your eyes peeled. As we said, there were a number of transactions for the Tigers earlier today. And here's the pitch. It is a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is now 2-1, so 2 balls and 1 strike to Albies. Phillies sent Wes Wilson on a rehab assignment to Clearwater, as there is a fastball swung on. This ball is going to get lined into right field. It's going to get down for a base hit. So a 2-out single off the bat of Ozzie Albies, and that's going to bring up Marcell Ozuna to the plate. And Ozuna striding to the dish here. Ozuna 0 for 1 today. He had struck out looking his first time up. He was not really impressed with the call of the home plate umpire. I have to say that Dan Merzel's zone has been a little wider than most. So here's the first pitch from Walker. It's a fastball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0 to Ozuna. When Ozuna can get going, he is as good a hitter as there is in baseball. Here comes the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Let's take it for a called strike, and the count's 1-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, going to a conversation from earlier, appears that Vance Honeycutt is still in high A with the Aberdeen Ironbirds. As I said, I can't remember who's all down there. There are some pretty good prospects, though. There's a fastball that swung on and missed. Some of them have moved up to AAA. As the right-hander ready to go again. And now Walker delivers. It's a fastball that misses up and away. The count now runs even to 2-2 on Ozuna. With regards to Chesapeake offensively, just taking a look at the roster, Enrique Bradfield Jr. is there. He is fast. I mean, he has got some next-level speed. And there's talk that if Cedric Mullins was to go, they wouldn't miss a beat by having him come up. He's the only offensive player that I see that, at least in my eyes, I don't know about the rest of them. I'd have to go look at their prospect list, but he's the only one that stands out for me off the hop. As far as the pitchers are concerned, I've got nobody down there that really pops for me either. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitch is on the way. Fastball swung on, line to the left field for a base hit. It's going to be fielded by Kepler. Stopping at second is Albies. And so back-to-back singles here with 2 out. Kind of mirrors what the Phillies did in their inning to some regards. Rather than singles, they had walks. Now it's going to bring up the first baseman and Matt Olson. And so you get 2 outs in the inning. The next thing you know, you put a couple ducks on the pond and you got some big bats coming up behind. The game could get away on you in a big-time hurry with 2 out. Walker has now thrown 56 pitches here as Matt Olson strides to the plate. It's not been an easy, even though the game's nothing, it's not been easy for either of these 2 pitchers. There's a first pitch fastball that just misses inside, and the count is 1-0. It looked like more of a cutter than anything else. As the right-hander Walker works from the set, here comes the pitch, 1-0 on the way. Fastball misses outside, and the count now goes to 2-0. I have to tell you, the first pitch that was a cutter looked close to being a strike, and then that pitch there also looked close to being a strike on the outside part. I would say that J.T. Realmuto, where he was set up, wasn't where he wanted the pitch. Both of those pitches look pretty darn good. There's a fastball that misses down and away, and it's now 3-0 to Olson. Waiting on deck is Austin Riley. So 3 balls and no strikes to Olson as he digs himself in, waiting on the offering from the right-hander. Walker's going to have to throw a cookie here. I wonder if Olson gets a green light at 3-0. And here comes the pitch. fastball that's taken for a called strike. The count is now 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. The Baltimore Oriole affiliate does play in the Eastern League, and as our friend Gracie Lynn points out, as they try a pickoff down at second base, but diving back in time safely is the runner Ozzie Albies, as he's a little slow to get up. As I mentioned, Tiger prospects, I guess I don't know if he's a prospect anymore, but Trey Cruz, which would be Jose Cruz Jr. and his son, and Jose Cruz Sr., obviously. Looks like they moved him into center field as that breaking ball is taken for a strike. It's now 3-2 to Olsen. That means the runners are going to be on the move here with 2 gone. Other Tigers to look at is Justice Bigby. He's 26 years old, still in AA, but he's off to a huge start. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4, and that's going to load the bases. As Albies is going to advance to third, Osuna will take second, and Olsen with the walk is at first, and that's going to bring up Austin Riley to the plate. So those are the offensive players that you might want to keep an eye on. Maybe Max Anderson, too. He was I believe, a second-round pick at the University of Nebraska. Now we're going to have a visit to the mound here as Walker. They're going to have a visit to talk to him. On the pitching side of things, the only name that pops, Troy Melton pops for me, but I can't remember why. But the other one is Dylan Smith. He's a 25-year-old. He's had some shoulder issues. Came out of the University of Alabama for the Tigers. He's got an even 1-1 record. Looked like he was on his way, and then next thing you know, he got derailed. So he is in AA. I don't know if he's pitched higher than high A in the past. But he missed some significant time last year because of injuries, so that might be somebody to keep an eye on. He hasn't started any of the games, but he has pitched in 4 innings in the 2 games, so maybe they're using him as a link man. Fastball misses outside to Riley, and the count is 1-0. Austin Riley 0 for 1 tonight. He struck out in his only time up. Bases are full of Braves. They're threatening here with 2 out. As there is a fastball that misses inside. They appeal down to the first base umpire, but they say Riley didn't go. All of a sudden here, it looks like that the home plate umpire has really tightened up the zone. We might be able to get a show on our hands from Snitker as Merzel is, or I should say maybe Rob Thompson will come out, but although Snitker has not been happy with him either. Both of these teams, the consistency of the zone tonight has been in doubt. Here's the pitch. That's a breaking ball swung on, popped up on the infield. It's playable. Moving over underneath it is Harper. He's going to make the catch in foul territory, and that is going to do it. Austin Riley is going to be retired for the 3rd out of the inning. They squander an opportunity to the Braves. There was no runs in the inning. There was a pair of hits. There was no errors, and 3 runners left aboard. Braves have now left 5 on in the first 3 innings. Your score is 0-0. The top of the 4th is just around the corner, and we'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for listening in on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We're back after this. Nothing. Phillies and the Braves moving to the top of the 4th. The middle 3 frames are coming up. We'll be back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. It is a 0-0 scoreline as we're moving to the top of inning number 4. It'll be Max Kepler, Nick Castellanos, and JT Realmuto to come to bat here for the Phillies in their half of inning number 4. The Phillies have left 4 runners aboard in the first 3 innings. The Braves have one up them. They have left 5. Grant Holmes, 63 pitches through his 3 innings of work. Taijuan Walker at 65. We were saying probably not going to see either of these two guys much beyond the 5th inning, if at all. So Max Kepler to step in here. He is 1 for 1 tonight. He had a base hit single his first time up. As the right-hander Holmes kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is quickly 0-1. Our friend Gracie Lynn lamenting on the fact that the Braves hitters swinging at pitches maybe that they shouldn't be, maybe being a little bit more patient. Fastball misses up, and the count is 1-1 to Kepler. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Kepler digs himself in, waiting on the pitch from Holmes. There's a fastball that misses outside. It's now 2-1. As I said, the home plate umpire tonight, not just for one team, both teams here, a little bit erratic with his balls and strikes. Some of those pitches look pretty darn good. K-zone or no K-zone. There's a fastball that swung on and fouled away, and the count now is 2-2 to Kepler. Neither of these pitchers here are particularly sharp tonight. Walker has walked 1 in the ball game. Holmes has walked 3. He has dodged some bullets. Kepler to be followed by Castellanos and Realmuto. As the right-hander Holmes ready to go again. He holds to the set. Now delivers. There's a fastball that is swung on and another one fouled away, and the count remains at 2-2 to Kepler. In a lot of ways, I find it's a 2-pitch pitcher here is Holmes. He's fastball and his breaking ball. His breaking ball in particular, it looks like it's very good. We really haven't seen a whole lot of change-ups, although there is something he takes off in the dirt. That was a slider there, and the count now is 3 balls and 2 strikes to Kepler. But he doesn't use a changeup particularly much, or at least what we have seen tonight. So here comes the offering to Kepler as the pitch is on the way. It is a fastball swung on, another one fouled away. Now it's turning into a battle here as it's going to be the 8th pitch of the bat coming up. We were saying maybe Holmes doesn't sniff the 6th. If he doesn't pull it together, he may not sniff the 5th. 70 pitches here for the right-hander as he holds to the set now, delivers. Breaking ball swung on and tap foul behind home plate. And when you see the batters that are able to get a little piece of it here and there, a little bit more, tells you that he doesn't maybe have that one overpowering pitch that he could put somebody away with. Here comes the 3-2 offering again. It is a breaking ball swung on. It is lifted down the left field line. Giving chase is the third baseman Riley. He slides, but he's not going to be able to make the catch as he has running out of real estate. That's going to keep the count at 3-2. 9 pitches now in the at-bat here to Kepler. No matter what happens, it's certainly going to take the sting out for the rest of the hitters that come to the plate. Get somebody at a 10, 11, 12 pitch at-bat that really battles. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. Drifting over to his right with room to make the catch is Kelnick, as he's going to put that one away. But Kepler gave quite the battle there, a 10-pitch at-bat. He's gone for the first out of the inning, and that's going to bring up the right fielder in Nick Castellanos. Well, for Castellanos, he is 0 for 1. He has flown to center field his first time up. Castellanos batting from the right side here against the right-handed throwing Holmes, who kicks and delivers. Fastball misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. So 1 ball and no strikes. Castellanos stands rather tall at the plate. He waggles his bat. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball, waved out and missed. That looked like Castellanos was guessing at that pitch. That pitch was down and away. He had no chance in getting it unless he had a fishing rod. But that is the plus nature of the pitch that we were talking about with Holmes. There's another breaking ball missing down. Basically a two-pitch pitcher. And at the big league level, if you are that as a starter, you're going to have your problems. There's a breaking ball swung on and grounded foul over on the third base side, and the count now even at 2-2 to Castellanos. As we take a peek at the out-of-town scoreboard, games that are currently still underway, as we'll keep you up to date here as the 2-2 offering is ready to come. Fastball misses inside. It's now 3-2 to Castellanos. Guardians beating the White Sox 3-1 in the top of the 8th. Blue Jays and Red Sox locked at 1s in the bottom of the 7th. As the right-hander Holmes delivers, it is a fastball swung on, is lined up the middle into center field for a base hit. And Castellanos is aboard with a single. That was another big at bat. He'd gone full count to both Kepler, who went to 10 pitches, and Castellanos, full count, hits the line drive into center field. Holmes really having to work here. It's going to bring up the catcher and JT Realmuto. Other games going on. The Rays have a 4-3 lead over the Angels. That's going to the bottom of the 5th inning. And the Twins and the Royals are locked at 0s. There's a first pitch fastball that just misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Now is another one of those pitches that, as we said before, the home plate umpire has been stingy on, not just for one team, but for both. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball. Swung on. It is lined to the third baseman, Riley, who leaps to make the catch. Retreating back to first is Castellanos, but Realmuto hit the ball right on the screws, but right to the glove of Realmuto for the second out. That is going to bring up the second baseman in Bryson Stott. So Stott coming to the plate. He is 0 for 1. He has flown out to left field. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. And the pitch on the way, it is a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes to Stott. Later start tonight, Brewers and Rockies go off in about 15 minutes' time. It is Alexander against Senzatella. As the pitch on the way is a fastball missing way upstairs. Count is 1-2 to Stott. All the rest of the games around the MLB are final. A lot of afternoon games today. We'll get you addressed on those ones. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is lined foul down the left field line, just barely foul. That keeps the count at 1-2 on Stott. The Mariners ended up scoring 3 in the bottom of the 9th inning to beat the Astros. We were checking in on it when it was 6-4. For the Astros heading to that inning. And then it was a tying hit by Rodriguez, and then Randy Arozarena walked it off with a bases-loaded walk, it looks like. A walk-off RBI walk. And there is a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the first base side, and the count remains at 1-2. The battle's going to continue. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Stott. Waiting on deck is Brandon Marsh to see if he's able to keep the inning alive. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2. I'm going to bet, I would put money that this will be the last inning for Holmes. 87 pitches here in 3 2/3 plus innings of work. Here's the 1-2. Fastball swung on. This is lined into center field for a base hit. Coming in to grab it is Harris. Stopping at second will be Castellanos. And that is going to bring up the center fielder in Brandon Marsh. So how much gas in the tank does Holmes have left? Well, we shall see. But if he can get out of this half inning here, more than likely pass the torch over to another Braves pitcher to begin the fifth. As Sean Murphy has gone out to the mound to talk a little strategy with his starter Holmes. Brandon Marsh striding the plate. He's 0 for 1 tonight. He flew out to left field his first time up. Getting a second crack here at the starter, as Holmes is ready to go. And the other thing is 18 batters faced here, or this will be the 18th hitter he's faced in the game. And to throw that many pitches at 88 pitches, that's quite something. And the first pitch is a breaking ball that misses outside, and the count is 1-0. And falling behind in the count is another issue here for Holmes. It's been the story of the night. He has been a bit of a escape artist in his innings. Has not had a 1-2-3 inning tonight. Here's the pitch. It's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count goes even at 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Again, Holmes ready to go back to work as he's got the new baseball. And the 1-1 on the way. He kicks and fires. Fastball misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-1. And that's a bit of the problem. I don't know if it's because of where the catcher had set up and the pitch was maybe deemed to be inside, but it looked pretty good. But he looks like he's had some pretty good pitches on the outside part of the plate too, and the home plate umpire is not giving him any of them. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal to the third base umpire, but they say Marsh didn't go. It's now 3 balls and a strike. You got a guy batting 160 on the season. You're not helping him at all by putting him aboard with a walk here. You're actually helping him. You're not helping yourself. There's a breaking ball swung on it. It's tap foul. The count now goes to 3-2. So that means the runners are going to be in motion here with 2 gone in the fourth. Castellanos, the runner at second. Stott, the runner at first. Marsh with a 3-2 count here. I would think he's going to get something to hit. Here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Holmes gets out of a jam, and that is going to do it here in the 4th inning. So no runs in the inning. There were a pair of hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. We're now moving to the bottom half of inning number 4. Your score is the Braves 0 and the Phillies 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back with some more action for you in just a bit. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Braves coming to hit when we return after this. Welcome back, everybody. We are just going to get ourselves moving to the bottom half of the 4th inning, and we will be right back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for listening in with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Back after this musical timeout.
Let's go. Yo. I'm like an addict, do I gotta have it. I ain't even playing, got a really bad habit. If it moves, gotta grab it, fuse like a magnet. Lose, won't have it till I'm doomed in a casket. I ain't playing, got a weird mind. If you work 8 hours, I'ma work 9. If the shit tastes sour, you should taste mine. I'ma stay in power for a long time. get up, nah, I ain't a quitter. Toss me the ball, I'm a really big hitter. Big picture, I'm a straight killer. Rising the song to the highest bidder. Got juice, got gas, I'ma move fast. New shoes, new tracks, like who's that? I'm new, come back better than last. Yeah, it's a new me, never.
Welcome back, everybody. We are moving to the last half of the fourth inning. It is going to be Sean Murphy, Brian Dela Cruz, and Jared Kelnick to come to bat here for the Braves. As Murphy officially does not have an at-bat tonight. He was hit by a pitch his first time up. Both of these teams have struggled at the plate, but it has been a struggle watching the pitchers pitch. Interesting that they have been a difficult piece tonight. There's a fastball that catches the inside corner for a called strike. Count is 1-1. Tough pitch to call on the catcher, Murphy. Murphy's been receiving here for the Braves tonight, and the starter Holmes not getting a whole lot of pitches, and he's taken 2 on the inside corner for called strikes. It's now 0-2. I bet you he wishes he could probably get something there. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander Walker delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this ball is going to be lined into left field for a base hit. And that is going to be a knock here. So that is going to be a knock here for Murphy with 1-2 pitch. Way too good a pitch from Taijuan Walker. At least that's my opinion on it. And there is a pitch delivered to Brian Dela Cruz that misses down for ball 1. The count is 1-0. I was just trying to look up something here as we're giving you guys our piece here. And it is 1 ball and no strikes as the right-hander here. And the pitch comes in. It's a fastball swung on. It is grounded over to third, over to second for 1. Back to first. It's going to be a double play. That's going to be a 5-4-3 variety, as it's going to erase Murphy at second for the first out. On the back end, Dela Cruz is gone, and that's 2 outs here. So 2 quick outs, and that is going to bring up the right fielder, Jared Kelnick. One of the pieces here, I have one of my former students texting me. He is in Japan, and he's got the game, I guess, between the Giants and the Bay Stars lined up, it looks like. Which is going to be kind of cool for him to be able to do that. That is a pitch that is swung on and fouled away, and the count is quickly 0-1 to Kelnick. Here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into right field. Moving over underneath it is Castellanos. He's there to make the catch. And that is going to retire Kelnick. He's going to be gone for the third out of the inning. So an unconventional 1-2-3 inning for Taijuan Walker. And that would be no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 runner left aboard. We are now moving to the top of the 5th inning. We're still tied at 0. You would never know it based on the way this game seems to be performing. We'll be right back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. This is our buddy Steve. Be sure to check him out after the game, and we'll be right back after this.
Hello, guys. Thank you for joining Freddie here on his baseball game. And I'm Steve Rademacher, and my channel is really all about everybody, including all my international friends. We have such stuff as non-sport packs from Canada, the OP Cheese. We have the Greek Freak. We have money from around the world. We have lira. We have yen. We have francs. We have pounds. We have Deutschmarks. We have all kinds of cool stuff like that. We even have some cooler things like Japanese women wrestlers and OPC baseball cards where I cannot read the back. We even have unopened material like the royal family, I know it's backwards, from London, England. Thank you for watching. Back to Freddie.
Welcome back, everybody. We got our friend Ronald in the house here tonight. We appreciate you for popping in, as it is the Phillies and the Braves locked at zeros as we are going to the top of the fifth inning. Just keeping our eyes peeled here to see if the Braves are indeed going to make a pitching change. I would have to think that Grant Holmes' day has got to be pretty close to being done, as he has been ratcheting up his pitch count here today. 94 pitches through the 4 innings for Holmes. But it looks like they're going to ride with them. This is interesting here. I wonder what they've got in their bullpen. So it'll be Kyle Schwarber coming to bat here in the 5th. Maybe they've got to get him for another inning or so here. So that's a bit of a surprise to me, but good on you. Braves here leaving Holmes in the game. And the first pitch to Schwarber is a breaking ball for a called strike. Count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Schwarber waggling the bat, waiting on the offering here from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count goes even to 1-1. They do have a lefty up in the bullpen. It's Aaron Bummer, the former White Sox, is throwing. So Holmes works himself again to the belt. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball swung on and fouled away, and the count now 1-2. Maybe by the time they get to Bryce Harper, maybe they just want to get a couple of batters here out of Holmes before they turn it over to the lefty to face Harper. I don't know. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I would have thought that a right-hander here might have been out of gas. Here's the pitch. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count now goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Top of the 5th inning, locked at zeros. It's been the theme of the day today. A lot of pitchers' duels early on anyway. There's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul down the left field line, and the count remains at 2 balls, 2 strikes to Schwarber. Holmes ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. It is a breaking ball, waved at and missed, and Schwarber's in the books for the first out of the inning. Another strikeout recorded by Holmes, and by our estimation, it looks like that's his 7th, although did Schwarber get a piece of that or not? We're going to take another look here. He claims he did. I don't think he did. The ball bounced. But I don't think that was it. I think the Braves are going to have to challenge this. And it looks like they are, as Walt Weiss was on the phone. Well, there's a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul. So I guess they said he ruled it as a foul tip. Still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Well, if something happens here, this is where the pitching coach is not going to be very happy. The ball ended up bouncing, but he never even got a piece of it, nor did they ask for help. There's a breaking ball swung on and tapped foul behind home plate. So we had Schwarber in the books for strike 3. By the replay, it wasn't even close. You can see the pitching coach, he is not happy. So here comes the 2-2 again to Schwarber. Breaking ball misses outside. The count now goes full. As we said, the home plate umpire tonight has not been sharp, and you can just see this is one of those games that, as we look again at the replay, he had swung through that one. Wasn't even close. The ball had bounced into the dirt. And there's a breaking ball that misses up and away. It's ball 4. And so you go from having a strikeout, well, to the tip of your hat, and it's going to be the end, it looks like, out of the night, is Brian Snitker is making his way to the mound. Yeah, he's calling for the left-hander, but it should be more than likely, in this case, it should be 1 out at this point. The home plate umpire who has been struggling, we've been lamenting this, not just for the Braves, it's been for both teams tonight. That is the end of the night for Holmes. That is the 4th walk that he has issued tonight. He'll be responsible for Schwarber. We're going to take a little break. Our friend Steve Rademacher is going to come in and tell us about a relief pitcher that he would use or choose, and we'll be back right after this.
Hey, where are you going? It's a pitching change. Come on, sit back down. You don't go out there. Don't go get no food or anything. You've got a big decision. Are you gonna throw in there Raleigh Fingers? Maybe Goose Gossage? How about maybe Mariano Rivera or Lee Smith, Dennis Eckersley? Who knows? It's a pitching change. Come on back. You know who I would pick for this? A nice, tall, cool one. There's my pitcher. That's my pitching change. That's a winning combination. Come see my channel. Every day is opening day. And according to Bob, I must be in the front row. Blah.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be the left-hander Aaron Bummer coming on in relief of Grant Holmes. Holmes is responsible for the runner at first, as he is taking his night will be over. Bummer 0-1 on the season. He's worked 2 2/3 innings. He's already appeared in 3 games. He's allowed 4 hits, 2 runs. Both have been earned, walking 2 and striking out 4. So Bummer on in relief. He'll be entrusted to have to face Trey Turner here. With the runner Schwarber at first. As I said, it's got to be bittersweet because 104 pitches thrown by the starter Holmes. He gave him a lot of pitches, although pitch efficiency was not something that he could hang his hat on here tonight. First pitch from Bummer. Fastball taken under the hands for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike it is. Our friend Ronald says Steve has some phenomenal commercials. Yeah, he's got some interesting sense of humor as the fastball misses upstairs and the count goes even to 1-1. He's got all kinds of crazy things. You should see some of the other stuff we haven't unveiled yet this year. We'll sneak them in during the NPB games late. Here comes the 1-1 offering. Pitch is a fastball that swung on and missed. The count goes to 1-2 on Turner. Turner 0 for 1 tonight. He is a walk and a strikeout to his name. As the lefty works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on and missed. Turner in the books. He goes down on strikes for the second time tonight. He's gone for out number 1, and that's going to bring up the first baseman, Bryce Harper. So speaking of base on balls, you've got Harper, who has 2 walks in tonight's game. He's been left stranded both times, hitting .275 with a homer and 3 runs batted in as he swings at a sweeper, as they like to call it. I think it's nonsense. What is a sweeper? There's a no ball and 1 strike count. This is the new terminology. It's a slide piece more than anything, or a roundhouse curve, as we would used to call it. There's a breaking ball swung on, grounded over to first, fielded neatly by the first baseman Olsen. He goes to second for 1, back to first, and that is going to be a 3-6-3 double play, and that is going to retire Schwarber and Harper for the second and thirds outs of the inning. Well, no runs in the inning, no hits, no errors, and nobody left the board. We're now moving to the bottom of the 5th inning. The score is the Braves 0 and the Phillies 0. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a bit. We appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back after this. Welcome back, everybody. It is the bottom of the 4th inning, or bottom of the 5th inning coming up here. It'll be the 9-1 and 2 batters to come to bat. We'll be back in 30 seconds with all the action. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here tonight with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Right back in just a few. Welcome back, everybody. It'll be Orlando Arcia, Michael Harris II, and Ozzie Albies to come to bat here as Taijuan Walker will begin his fifth inning of work. 73 pitches for the right-hander, only 43 for strikes, though, as he has not been as sharp or as effective as he'd like to be tonight. But just a little bit better than his counterpart, Holmes, who has now left the ballgame. And the first pitch on the way to Arcia is a fastball chop foul over on the third base side of home plate. The count is quickly 0-1. Arcia 0 for 1 tonight. He had struck out in his only plate appearance against Walker, who kicks and delivers. There's a fastball that swung on. It is sliced down the line in right field. That is going to go foul, and the count is 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Only 4 hits tonight so far for the Braves, 3 for the Phillies, as that breaking ball misses down and away, and it's now 1-2 to Arcia. But there has been action on the base paths as there's been base on balls. There's a fastball swung on his grounder right back up the middle, past the legs of Walker into center field. And Arcia is going to get himself a leadoff single here, and that is going to bring up the top of the order in Michael Harris II. So for Harris II, he comes to the plate 0 for 2 tonight. He's grounded back to the pitcher and grounded to second in his 2 trips at the plate. Our friend Flacco says, are the Phillies going to score more than 3? As the pitch is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Welcome to the channel tonight. Appreciate you for being here. I'm just hoping that somebody scores a run. But neither of these 2 pitchers that have thrown tonight, I would have expected that they would have been in a 0-0 pitchers duel. And I ought to tell you what the bats of these 2 teams are like. Maybe the Phillies are going south and the Braves still haven't figured it out yet. As that fastball misses up and away, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Harris. So it's not looking like it here tonight, but we saw what happened in the Tiger-Yankee game earlier today as all the runs seemed to come after the 6th inning. Fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 1-2 on Harris. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. As the right-hander holds to the set, now he kicks and fires. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and tapped foul right at the feet of the catcher, Realmuto. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, the right-hander ready to go again as he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that is swung on and missed. And Harris goes into the books for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the second baseman, Ozzie Albies. Another thing that's noticeable tonight about the lineup for the Braves, and the Braves can run a little bit. You think Ozzie Albies can run, and so can Acuna when he's in the lineup, but this is a team that has no stolen bases in the lineup tonight. There's a first pitch splitter that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Albies waiting on the offering here from Walker, who kicks and fires. Fastball swung on it, is popped up over on the third base side. It's in foul territory. It's playable. And Alec Bohm is going to make the catch, and that's going to put 2 in the books here. So 2 quick outs after the leadoff single by Arcia. That is going to bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna. Well, for Ozuna tonight, he is 1 for 2, a single and 2 trips. As the big fella steps in here, waiting on the first pitch here from Taijuan Walker. Pitch on the way, and it is a breaking ball that misses outside for ball one. Count is 1-0. And to think about it, when our friend Gracie Lynn was in here earlier and she was thinking about what the scoring could possibly like, neither of these two pitchers that were of the dominant sort be able to escape with no runs out of your starters, that would be pretty impressive, as that cutter misses down and away, and the count goes to 2-0 on Osuna. Walker leans in, gets the sign. Arcia gets his lead at first base. It's not a big lead. And here comes the pitch. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count is 2-1. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Again, waggling the bat here is the right-handed hitting Ozuna, and that is a fastball that misses down, and the count now goes to 3-1. So 3 balls and 1 strike. There is action in the bullpen as Jordan Romano, the former Blue Jay closer, is up and throwing, so his role is a little bit differently defined in Philadelphia than it was in Toronto. So the right-hander Walker kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that misses down and away. It's going to be ball 4. That's going to put runners at first and second with 2 gone. That's going to bring up the first baseman, Matt Olson. So Walker has, I don't want to say cruised along. He's really battled his way here tonight. And now the catcher JT Realmuto comes out. He's flashing the signs to his defense. Check that. It's Jose Ruiz up and throwing. They had flashed that it was Jordan Romano, a different reliever. I was going to say Romano is more at the back end, but it is Ruiz getting hot here. Here's the first pitch to Olson. Fastball misses inside for a ball, and the count is 1-0. You got to think that it looks like Taijuan Walker right now is in survival mode. You can see the Braves fans are getting anxious, as they won't look to try to push the first runs across the plate here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 5th. Pitch on the way. Breaking ball misses down. It's now 2-0. Looks like Walker is running out of gas. This is a wrestling match. He's looking to get to the ropes to tag off to his partner. So 2 balls and no strikes. As the right-hander holds set, now delivers. It is a fastball taken for a called strike. Count is now 2-1 to Olson. So good hitters count still here for the left-handed hitting first baseman of the Braves. He has been on base tonight. He walked. He's also grounded out. Pitch on the way. Fastball inside. Squirts away from the catcher, Realmuto. Makes it 3 balls and 1 strike. Austin Riley waiting his turn on deck. I have a feeling if he walks Olson, this could spell the end of the night for Taijuan Walker. Here comes the 3-1 pitch. As he kicks and delivers, it's a breaking ball that misses upstairs. That's going to be ball 4, and it's back-to-back walks issued by the Phillies right-hander. Advancing over to third is Arcia. Over to second is Osuna. Olson is going to reach first, and that's going to bring Rob Thompson out of the dugout, and that looks like it could be the end of the night here for the right-hander. I'll have to wait here to see if it is going to be an official pitching change or not, but that looks like it could be the end here for Walker. Usually when the manager comes out, it spells the end. Although we were watching the Mariner game the other night, Dan Wilson had made the appearance to the mound, and Gabe Spire started running out of the bullpen, and they had to send him back. It was one of those bizarre incidents that you had to witness. That is the way it goes. But we're going to take a little time out here because it does look like they are going to be making a change. We'll get that for you when we come back. Hang tight, everybody. It is bases loaded. Bottom of the 5th inning. Braves are looking to score. We'll be back in just a couple minutes moments after this. Appreciate you for being with us. Welcome back, everybody. The bullpen is being called upon as it's going to be Jose Ruiz to come in here for the Phillies in relief of Taijuan Walker. Ruiz is going to be making his 5th appearance of the young season. He's worked 2 1/3 innings. He's allowed 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He has walked none and struck out 2. So he is coming into a very difficult situation. All of the base runners are the responsibility of Walker, as it is going to be Austin Riley who will come to the plate to face him. Runner at third is Arcia. He reached on a single, and back-to-back walks to Ozuna and Olsen has now brought us to Austin Riley with the bases full. Riley tonight is 0 for 2. He has struck out and he has popped the first in his 2 trips as he bats here from the right side against the right-handed throwing Ruiz. And the first pitch on the way is a fastball that misses upstairs for a ball, and the count is 1-0. Taijuan Walker had walked 3 batters here tonight, and he had scattered 5 hits in his 4 2/3 innings of work. As we said, he is still responsible for all the base runners. There's a breaking ball that drops in for a called strike, and the count now goes to 1-1 on Riley. Ruiz looking to get himself or get his teammate out of this jam. As the Braves are batting here in the bottom of the 5th. There's a fastball that moves Riley off the plate inside for a ball, and the count is 2-1. Friend Gracie Lynn says she disappeared for a bit. Back for another 15 or 20. Yeah, we were wondering what happened to you. We put on APB out for you. There's a fastball that is swung through and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Riley. So we've seen a lot of this today. Not a lot of runs scored, even in the early games, as we mentioned. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. As Ruiz kicks and fires, there's a fastball that swung on and lifted foul down the right field line, and the count remains at 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Our friend Gracie Lynn getting herself all packed to come back to the USA tomorrow, I believe. So here comes the 2-2 offering. As the pitch is on the way, it is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into right field. Coming hard is Castellanos. Moving back is Stott. He's got to make the over-the-shoulder catch. And that is going to retire Riley for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Braves in inning number 5. Well, they threaten, but they don't score. It's the same old adage here tonight. No runs in the inning. There was 1 hit. There was no errors and 3 left aboard. Through the first 5 innings, the Braves have left 9 runners stranded. They've not been able to get themselves a clutch hit. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. I got to put the music just on loop for a second, and we'll be back with all the action. Appreciate you guys for hanging here. It is a 0-0 ball game. We'll return right after this. Welcome back, everybody. One reason we like the Japanese games is after the 5th and 6th inning, they take an extended timeout. It's us an opportunity to go out and to relieve ourselves, just as the relievers have come out here for the Braves and the Phillies. It is going to be Aaron Bummer who's going to be facing the heart of the order. It'll be Alec Boehm, Max Kepler, and Nick Castellanos. As the first pitch is on the way from Bummer, and it is a fastball that catches the outside corner for a called strike. Count is 0-1. Bummer was able to induce a double play to end that last half inning as he came on in relief of Grant Holmes. There's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away down the right field line, and the count now goes to 0-2. He is way ahead on Alec Boehm. Our friend Gracie Lynn says she flies back tomorrow, 4-hour flight that leaves at 7:01 local time. I take it that would be out of San Jose. So here comes the offering from the lefty who kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball that is swung on and fouled away. Count remains at 0-2 to Boehm. Boehm is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out in both of his appearances to the plate. As we said, some of the Phillies are struggling, not as bad as the Braves have struggled at the plate. There are some ugly numbers in the Phillies lineup as well, as that breaking ball misses down and the count goes to 1-2 on Boehm. Kyle Schwarber and Nick Castellanos both batting north of 300, and everybody else after that, well, Harper's at 275. Then nobody else above 250 as that pitch is a fastball that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-2. Our friend Gracie Lynn says, yeah, San Jose to Atlanta. And she flies into 2 different time zones. Yeah, Mountain to Eastern, and then driving back to Alabama in the Central. There is a fastball taken for a called third strike, and Boehm stood there like the house by the side of the road. He watched that go by. He's now got the sombrero here tonight. That's 3 strikeouts for him. That is going to bring up the left fielder in Max Kepler. Well, for Kepler tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also flown out to right field. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1 to Kepler. When I flew to Costa Rica, we flew from Detroit to Houston, Houston to San Jose, and then did the return leg back. Breaking ball misses down and away, and the count is 1-1. That's going back over 20 years ago now. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is here to Kepler. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball swung on and is grounded through the 4-hole past the glove of the second baseman Albies, and that's going to be a 1-out single here for Kepler. So he's aboard with a base hit, his second of the night. He's really got to get himself going here, and if that's the case here, maybe this is the start of some good things. And that is going to bring a conference to the mound. It looks like that is going to be the end of the night here for the lefty. So we're going to have ourselves another pitching change. Braves are going back to the bullpen again. It looks like it's going to be a bullpen parade from here on out. Nick Castellanos coming to bat, 1 on and 1 out. And we'll be back in just a couple moments with all the action here. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us. Top of the 6th inning. It is 0-0 between these 2 ball clubs.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
That's right, everybody. We have a pitching change. We'll be back in just a couple moments and get that for you when we return. Hang tight after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. This call to the pen is going to bring us Pierce Johnson. He is making his 4th appearance of the young season. He has worked 2 2/3 innings. He's allowed a couple of hits. He's walked 1 and struck out 4. He is yet to allow an earned run. The runner at first is the responsibility of Aaron Bummer, and that would be Max Kepler. as it is 1 gone here in the inning. So he is going to be facing Nick Castellanos, JT Realmuto, and Bryson Stott potentially here in this inning. And you've got the right-hander who has completed his tune-up tosses. And we are ready to go here as Castellanos strides in. And the first pitch is a breaking ball, waved out and missed, and the count is quickly 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Johnson began his career with the Cubs back in 2017. He has been much traveled, but he's seemed to settle here right now, or as of recently, in Atlanta, as that breaking ball misses down, and the count's 1-1 on Castellanos. After he was with the Cubs, he moved over to the Giants, and then he spent 3 seasons in a San Diego Padre uniform before making his way to Colorado, and then he was flipped to the Braves. That is where he has been ever since. Pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball that catches the inside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. Stood Castellanos up a little bit. I don't know if he was overly impressed with the call. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Kepler, the runner at first. Castellanos batting here with 1 gone in inning number 6 as the right-hander Johnson holds to the set. Now delivers. Breaking ball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left center field. This ball could be trouble. Moving back onto the warning track and making the catch is Michael Harris. Oh, he sent it a long way, did Castellanos, but he sent it to one of the deeper parts of the ballpark. And that is going to retire Castellanos for the second out of the inning. It's a long out. Gave the Braves fans a little flutter with their hearts, and is now going to bring up JT Realmuto to the plate. And for Realmuto, he is 0 for 2 tonight. He has struck out looking and lined to third in his 2 trips. Batting here with 1 gone in inning number 6. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. 2 gone here. Runner at first is Kepler. Realmuto waggling the bat, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander Johnson. As the pitch is on the way, it's a breaking ball that just misses a bit low. As I said, the corners have been rounded here by the home plate umpire. It's been a little bit difficult. Some of the pitches have looked pretty good. There's another example of it right there. But both teams have been a little bit upset. I'd like to see what the umpire score on tonight's game would be tomorrow. There's a breaking ball that misses down. They appeal to the first base umpire, but they say Realmuto didn't go. Count is now 2-1. I've seen that in years past where, not years past, but on Twitter, they grade the umpires and their score and their consistencies, how many missed calls. And certainly there would be a topic of discussion after tonight's game. A breaking ball swung on and fouled away, and the count is 2-2. When you think about it, if there's approximately, let's say, 300 pitches over the course of a 9-inning game, how many are actually needed to be called? You got to think at least a third are fouled off or put in play as they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Realmuto. Or the runner actually is Kepler. It's Realmuto at the plate. Here comes the pitch. As Johnson delivers. Fastball swung on. This is muscled into center field for a base hit. Stopping at second will be Kepler, and that's going to be a 2-out single here for Realmuto. And that'll bring up the second baseman and Bryson Stott. Friend Gracie Lynn says she doesn't mind a bad strike zone as long as it's bad for both teams. Yeah, it has. That's the part that I want to emphasize tonight is it hasn't been good either way. So it's not like one team is getting worked over. Both of the teams can feel like they've been vilified tonight, as there's a fastball that misses down and the count is 1-0. But it is frustrating as a hitter. Usually the umpires pick one. If you're going to call the pitches down, call them down. If you're going to call the pitches up, call them up. But don't do both. Makes it very difficult for the hitters to be able to hit. It's already tough enough to hit. Usually give you one but not the other. But with the pitchers here, they haven't been getting the inside pitches or the outside pitches. As that breaking ball misses down in the dirt, the count is now 2-0 to Stott. So 2 balls and no strikes. Runner at second, Kepler. Runner at first, Realmuto. 2 gone here in the top of the 6th. Phillies looking to draw first blood. Here's the 2-0. And there's a fastball that misses way upstairs, and the count now goes to 3-0. One got away on the right-hander Johnson here. Waiting on deck is Brandon Marsh. Braves are trying to get themselves back-to-back wins. They won last night's ball game and trying to be able to get another one here today. As the pitch is delivered, there's a fastball at the knees for a called strike, and the count now is 3-1 on Stott. So 3 balls and 1 strike. They are shading Stott a little bit to the right side of the infield. They've got the third baseman well off the bag, shortstop more up the middle. There's a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count now runs full to Stott. Well, with that being said, the runners are going to be on the move now because it is a full count here to the second baseman of the Phillies. Kepler and Realmuto on the base paths. Once he goes to the dish, they'll be on the move. And here comes the 3-2. Pitch on the way. It is a breaking ball. Swung on it. Is grounded to the right side of the infield. What a play by Albies as he's able to stop the ball, but they're not going to be able to get the runner out at first. He had dove to his left. Made a great play, but it looks like that Max Kepler is going to come around to score as he's going to get the first run of the game for the Phillies. Albies dove to his left deep into the 4-hole in shallow right field. Had he been able to come up with it, actually was in his glove and he lost it on the exchange. He would have been able to retire Stott, but that's more than likely going to be a single here for Stott and an RBI. Cashing in Kepler with the first run of the game. Stopping at second is Realmuto, and that is going to bring up Brandon Marsh to the plate. And the first pitch to Marsh is a breaking ball taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. I'll double check to make sure that that is the case, but yeah, the official score ruled that as a single. As they throw over to first base, and diving back in time is the runner Stott. Actually, Realmuto went all the way around to third on that. As we said, the runners were in motion on the play. So runners at the corners here as the 0-1 pitch coming to Marsh. Breaking ball swung on, chopped foul just past the first base coach's box, and the count goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. We thank everybody who has popped in here tonight to join us. We are squeezing in some MLB action this year on the channel. If you're up late night, come on in for the Japanese games. So here comes the pitch from Johnson. Breaking ball just misses off the outside corner, and the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Runner at third, Realmuto. Runner at first, Stott. 1 run across the board here for the Phillies in the top of the 6th. The right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's fouled right into the legs of Marsh. He's going to hop around over there at the home plate area. That's going to leave a mark. And so 1-2 it remains. As the right-hander holds set again, here comes the pitch. Kicks and delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is grounded. Fair, or was it line fair? Either way, Matt Olson makes a great play, and that is going to retire Marsh for the 3rd out of the inning. Took him right into the base at first. I'll have to get a look at the replay on it, whether it was a line drive out or whether it was a ground, if it hit the ground on a short hop. But either way, that'll do the inning here. A 1 run in the inning on 3 hits. There was no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 6th inning, it is 1-0 for Philadelphia. Stick around, everybody. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just one roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Sean Murphy, Brian Dela Cruz, and Jared Kelnick to come to bat here in the sixth inning for the Braves as they find themselves in a 1-0 deficit. It was a play that was almost a really good play by Ozzie Albies. He had dove to his left to stop the ball, but was unable to get it out of the glove in the transfer to throw out Bryson Stott at first base. That allowed Max Kepler to score the first run of the ball game for the Phillies. So Sean Murphy coming to bat here. It'll be Murphy, Dela Cruz, and Jared Kelnick. Do you begin the bottom of the sixth inning? It is still going to be Ruiz on the mound, as the first pitch on the way is a fastball that swung on and it's lined foul down the left field line. Count is quickly 0-1 to Murphy. Murphy 1 for 1 tonight. He's got a single, but he's also been hit by a pitch. So his hot hitting has continued since returning to the lineup. And hopefully it's infectious for his Brave teammates if you are a fan of the Braves. As there's a breaking ball that misses down and the count goes even to 1-1. 1 ball and 1 strike. 3 for 5 now on the season is Murphy. As the pitch is a breaking ball that is swung on and tapped foul. Count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Gracie Lynn says, I really liked Dela Cruz when he was in Miami. Hoping that things work out for him in Atlanta. I don't really know what's going on down there in Miami, and I don't know if Miami knows what's really going on there either. As there is a fastball that misses upstairs. I would have thought that Dela Cruz would have been somebody that they would have been keeping the build around. I thought he had some good moments down there. But he has had, like other Miami players, a short-lived moment there before they either let them go or trade him away. As there is a changeup that misses down. It's now 3-2 to Murphy. So 3 balls and 2 strikes. As the pitch is down, they appeal over to the first base umpire, but they say he didn't go. If I remember correctly, I think he was also with the Pirates last year, was Dela Cruz. As that is going to be ball 4. Murphy's aboard with a leadoff walk, and that's going to bring up the aforementioned Brian Dela Cruz. Last season, he had 21 homers between the Marlins and the Pirates. He was at 19 the year before that and 13 the year before that in a Miami uniform. And the first pitch fastball is swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1. Dela Cruz tonight is 1 for 2. He's got a single, and he's grounded into a double play. And he's still relatively young enough. He's 28 years old. As the pitch is a fastball swung on, is grounded over to third. Bohm knocks it down. His only play is to first, and they're able to get Dela Cruz. Looked like he wanted to go for 2, but he tried to maybe get rid of it before he had it. Murphy's going to slide into scoring position at second base. It is going to be a ground out 5-3. Actually, it was a short hop that came up and got him upon the replay. I thought he actually had dropped the ball, but maybe a little bit of courage there for Bohm to throw his body in front of it. as it looked like the family jewels were in jeopardy of being dismantled. In the first pitch, breaking ball delivered to Kelenic is swung on and missed. The count is 0-1. Kelenic tonight 0 for 2 is grounded to second and flown to right. He entered the fray hitting 185, and that has taken a step backwards. So much like his Atlanta teammates, he has struggled at the dish tonight. Pitch is on the way. It's a fastball swung on and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. Just looking at the Braves bench for pinch hitting options tonight. Nick Allen, the infielder. They got Baldwin, the catcher. Fairchild, who they recently acquired from the Reds. And Eli White. There's a fastball that misses upstairs. The count is 1-2. And I have to say, I don't think that there's anybody there off the bench that would put the fear of God into the Phillies pitchers. That might change once Ronald Acuna comes back and everybody kind of shuffles down a bit, as there's a fastball that misses upstairs. Count is now 2-2. And certainly the loss or the suspension of Jerkson Profar takes a bat out of the lineup as well. And here comes the pitch. It is a fastball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 3-2 on Kelenic. Yeah, the way that they're swinging the bat right now, you got to be around the plate. Don't walk the guys and let the Braves hit their way on if they can. There's been a number of walks issued here tonight by both teams. There's a fastball that misses inside, and there's the aforementioned walk again. That's going to put runners at first and second. It's the second walk allowed here by Ruiz, the 3 by Walker. That's 5 walks and just over 6 innings. That's not good enough for a major league team. Keeping my eyes on, of all things, the minor league scoreboard. I was looking to see, looks like Dunedin has beat Jupiter tonight. That was the game I'm interested in. There's a ground ball to the left side of the infield, gets by the third baseman Bohm, and that is going to get a run in here, and also got by the shortstop. That ball had eyes. Bohm, the third baseman, Turner, the shortstop, the ball had snuck through them, and that is going to be a single here off the bat of Arcia. He's going to get himself an RBI, his second hit of the night. Enda scores Murphy, and now we're back to where we were a couple innings ago, all tied up. So Orlando Arcia with a little bit of excitement here. And that puts runners at the corners as Kelenic went all the way around to third on the single by Murphy. Or single by Arcia. Sorry, Murphy has come in to score. It brings up the top of the order in Michael Harris II. And the first pitch is a fastball. Take it for a called strike. And the count is 0-1 to Harris. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the right-hander delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right field. Drifting back just in front of the warning track is Castellanos. He makes the catch. Tagging at third and coming home to score is Kelenic. So a sacrifice fly gets the run in. It's going to be the second out of the inning, but now the Braves have taken the lead 2-1. And that is going to bring up the second baseman, Ozzie Albies. And that's the walks for you that can kill you. The walk to Murphy and the walk to Kelenic have both come around to count here for the Braves in the inning. As we mentioned, 5 walks so far. There's a fastball swung on, is grounded over to third. Bohm fields it. He thought about second, throws to first, and that is going to retire Albies on a ground out 5-3 for the third out of the inning. But damage done here in the inning by the Braves. 2 runs on the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors and 1 runner left aboard. We're now through 6 complete. Your score is the Braves 2 and the Phillies 1. Stick around, everybody. Won't have to think. There's lots of action left. The back third of the game will be coming up here when we return in just a few. Thanks for being with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We are moving ourselves to the top of the seventh inning. It is now a 2-1 ball game for the Atlanta Braves. We'll be back in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for checking us out tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be back after this musical timeout. Welcome back, everybody. Our friend Gracie Lynn is departing. Safe travels, young lady. We hope you join us again next week. And it'll be some NPB games, hopefully, and as well as some Major League games. Come back and see us again when you get back into the United States. Again, safe travels and a safe ride as well. We are now moving to the top of inning number 7. Slated to come to bat for the Phillies will be the top of the order. It'll be Schwarber, Turner, and Harper. We do have a pitching change as it's going to be Dylan Lee coming into the ball game, as he is going to be replacing Pierce Johnson. So Dylan Lee on in relief, and the first pitch is a breaking ball. I'll take it for a called strike. The count is quickly 0-1. Dylan Lee on the season here. He is making his 6th appearance. He has worked 4 2/3 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 1 run. It's been earned. Walked 1 and struck out 1. And there's a breaking ball taken for a called strike. And Schwarber is in the hole here at 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Lee has spent all 5 seasons of his career in a Braves uniform. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. I say parts of really this is his beginning his 4th full season. He made his debut with a couple of games in the 2021 campaign. Breaking ball that misses down, and the count now goes to 2-2 on Schwarber. Mainly used out of the bullpen. He has 1 start to his name, and more importantly, more those as an opener than anything else. So Lee ready to deliver again as he kicks and fires. There's a fastball that misses inside and moves Schwarber off the plate. Now the count goes full to 3-2. Friend Tyler says, like clockwork, put the money on the Phillies. Braves take the lead back. Yeah, this game here has kind of been tough. Thanks for coming back again, Tyler. There's a fastball swung on and missed, and Schwarber's in the books. He's gone for the first out of the inning. That's going to bring Trey Turner up to the plate. This game in some ways the way it was shaping up was very similar to that Tiger-Yankee game that we did earlier today. So Turner coming to the plate, he is officially 0-2. He has struck out twice, and he has walked as he check swing fouls that one away, and the count is 0-1 to Turner. Turner batting from the right side here against the left-handed throwing Lee. Our friend Tyler says, go Phils. As the lefty holds to the set, now delivers. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to no balls and 2 strikes. Again, the left-hander ready to go. He kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball that misses down. It's now 1 ball and 2 strikes to Turner. Again, the lefty back to work as he works himself to the belt. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on, lifted into right field. Turner slips getting out of the box. It's going to be retrieved by Kelnick. And reaching first base safely is Trey Turner. He's got himself a 1-out single, and that is going to bring up the first baseman and Bryce Harper. Well, you never know, Tyler. This is the problem here. Now you got a runner at first with 1 gone. Harper coming to the plate is officially 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded into a double play his last time up, but he has walked twice. Keon says, come on, Phillies. Yeah, the Phillies here get an opportunity to stick some runs on the board. There's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count is 0-1 to Harper. Tyler figures that Turner's got a steal here. Well, but the lefty on the mound, not sure really how Lee holds the runners. As he kicks and fires, there's a breaking ball that is waved out and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Braves do have the shortstop Arcia almost to the other side of second base. They've got the shift on, and obviously he has to be on the left side of the infield. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2, but he's as far as you can go up the middle within the rules. Runner at first is Turner. 1 ball is 2 strikes here to Harper. As the lefty works himself to the set. And now he kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that is swung on and fouled away, and the count now is still going to remain at 1-2 to Harper. I would think that they may put him in motion when Bohm comes to the plate. We let Harper do his magic here. Harper is in scoring position when he steps in the batter's box. Here comes the 1-2 pitch. There's a breaking ball down. Nice stop there by the catcher Murphy, and that runs the count to 2-2. But if Alec Bohm comes to the plate, maybe you put some motion on here because Bohm has had a rough night at the office. So here's the 2-2 pitch as Lee holds to the set. Now he kicks and delivers. It's a breaking ball swung on and lifted foul on the third base side of home plate, and the count is going to remain at 2-2 to Harper. There is action as Daysbel Hernandez is up and throwing for the Braves. Pitched in last night's ball game. As the lefty holds set, now he delivers. Fastball swung on. This ball is lifted into deep right center field. This ball could be trouble. And this ball is gone. A home run for Bryce Harper. A 2-run shot, and the Phillies are back out in front now 3-2. All the fireworks have been coming here in the last couple innings. And you weren't going to be able to pitch around Harper here as he deposits the 2-2 pitch into the right field seats. And the Phillies have retaken the lead 3-2 here in the 7th. And that is going to bring Alec Bohm to the plate. And our friend Keon is in the chat here, and he says, boom, just like that. 2-run shot off the bat of Harper. That's going to bring Alec Bohm to the plate. And for Alec Bohm tonight, he has really struggled. He is 0 for 3. He's already got the sombrero. And there is a fastball swung on and fouled away right into the catcher Murphy, and the count is quickly 0-1. 3 at-bats and 3 strikeouts for the third baseman of the Phillies. So Phillies have taken 3-2 lead here in the top of the 7th inning. After the Braves had scored 2 in the bottom of the 6th. It's turning out to be a more entertaining affair here with some runs on the board. Here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded to third, fielded by Riley. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Bohm on a ground out 5-3. He's out for the second out of the inning. And that's why I wouldn't have put Trey Turner in motion with Harper at the plate. Harper coming into the plate can deposit a pitch into the seats. It's exactly what he did. If Turner would have been in motion and stealing, and you get him thrown out, the next thing you know, Harper puts one in the stands. It's only a tie ball game. There's a fastball that misses up. Count is 1-0. Now, if it was somebody else in the batting order, it would be a different discussion. Now it looks like the Braves have somebody else warming up in the pen. Here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count is 1-1. I didn't catch who they had heating up, but Hernandez is now sat down. I wonder if it's the newly acquired Montero. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball waved at and missed, and now the count goes to 1-2 on Max Kepler. Kepler has 2 hits tonight. He's got both singles in his 3 trips. He's scored the first run of the game for the Phillies. 2 for 3. He's pulled his average up to 219. The early part of the year like this, the numbers can fluctuate quite a bit. He's raised it nearly 50 points. There's a breaking ball that is swung on and missed, and Kepler's in the books. But damage has been done here, and the Phillies have retaken the lead. 2 runs in the inning on the 2-run homer by Bryce Harper. 2 runs, 2 hits, no errors, nobody left aboard. We are now moving to the bottom of the 7th inning. It is 3-2. Thanks for stopping in with us tonight, everybody. We appreciate you guys for listening. We'll be back in just a couple of moments. It is Braves and Phillies when we return after this. It is 3-2 for the Phillies. We're moving to the bottom of the 7th inning, and here is our friend Steve Rademacher to keep you entertained.
Oh, hello. Oh, hey. Yep. I'm just sitting here listening to Freddie call another game here on YouTube. Oh, yeah, going really good. He's calling a great game, really exciting, lots of stuff going on. You're lucky it's commercial break right now. I got a second. Oh, yeah, of course, I'm having a cold one. Oh, yeah, got plenty of videos coming up this week. You should stop in, check them out, leave a like, tell other people. But, Freddie's coming back. I got to go catch the game. I will check in with you later. You have a good night, buddy. Bye.
Appreciate you there, Steve. As he is a supporter of our channel, be sure to check out Steve Rademacher after the game, and he might even have a beer with you. Our friend Tyler says, love popping for a Bryce Harper homer. Absolutely. It was a well-timed at-bat. As I said before, Harper in that situation with the runner and the duck on the pond, you want to make sure you keep him there, as Harper was able to bring him around the bases with him on the 2-run shot. Well, that is going to bring Marcell Ozuna to the plate. He'll lead it off. It'll be Matt Olson and Austin Riley to follow here for the Braves in their half of the 7th inning. For Ozuna tonight, he is 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also drawn a walk. So he steps to the plate here, ready to face the Phillies pitching here, as it is going to be a reliever who has entered into the ball game. It is Joe Ross on the hill. And the first pitch is a fastball that misses upstairs for ball 1. Ross is the 3rd pitcher used tonight by the Phillies, as he has replaced Jose Ruiz. So 1 ball and no strikes to Ozuna. I have a feeling the run or the leads may not be finished yet, or the lead changes. This game could be seesawing back and forth as there is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 1-1. Right-hander again gets the side from Almudo, and he works himself to the belt. And the 1-1 on the way. It is a fastball swung on. It is lifted into straightaway center field. Drifting over to his right, and there to make the catch is Brandon Marsh, and Osuna's in the books for the first out of the inning. So 1 up and 1 away, and that'll bring up the first baseman in Matt Olson. Our friend WTO Brad says the Phillies have got to pull this one off. And Keon says he believes in them. The Phillies have played pretty good baseball. I mean, they took the one on the chin last night. 7 out of their first 10. As the Braves have trended in the other direction, there's a first pitch fastball swung through and missed, and the count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. This is Ross's 4th appearance of the season for the Phillies. As the right-hander gets his sign from Errol Muto and he works himself to the belt. And the pitch is on the way. It's a fastball that misses inside, and the count runs even to 1-1. 3 runs, 8 hits, no errors for the Phillies. 2 runs, 6 hits, no errors for the Braves so far. As the right-hander Ross works himself to the set. Here's the pitch. Fastball comes up and in, and the count now goes to 2-1 on Olsen. The Braves are just not clicking yet. You can see they've had some good at-bats tonight. And things may start to change for them, but I think the way that the Phillies approach at the plate tonight against the starter Grant Holmes, the way they worked them, seems to grind out the at-bats. There's a fastball swung on it, is grounded on a hop over to Harper. Fields that he's going to win the race to the bag as it's a ground out to 3 for out number 2. It's going to leave it all up to the third baseman, Austin Riley. Well, for Riley, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has struck out. He has popped to first and popped to second. Batting here with nobody on and 2 gone in the 7th. One thing you do got to keep in the back of your mind, if you're a Philly fan, you want to try to extend the lead a little bit because there's enough pop in the Braves lineup. A solo shot would even it all up. There's a breaking ball that misses down and away. Count is 1-0 to Riley. Somehow try to grind out another run or 2 in these next couple innings. Right-hander works himself to the set. Here's the pitch from Ross. Fastball, and that misses inside, and the count now goes to 2-0 on Riley. The Phillies pitchers have walked 5 batters here in this one tonight. On the flip side of the coin, the Braves pitchers have walked 4 batters. There's a fastball swung on. This ball is belted into deep left field. This ball could be trouble, and this ball is gone. It's into the home bullpen or the visiting bullpen down the left field line, and Austin Riley has tied it all back up here at 3 with a solo shot. And we're back to where we were when we started, all even. It is now 3-3 Braves and Phillies. So Riley deposits that one into the seats, and now that's going to bring Sean Murphy to the plate. And for Murphy, well, he is been on base all 3 times he's come to the plate. He's 1 for 1 tonight. He's walked, and he has been hit by a pitch. So both of these teams trading punches. It's like a heavyweight boxing match here. As Murphy stands in as the right-hander Ross delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and this one's lifted into shallow right field. Moving over underneath it is Castellanos. He's going to make the catch, and that is going to do it here for out number 3. But Austin Riley, off of the schneid, gets himself a home run here to tie the ball game. 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left aboard. We're now through 7 complete. We are going to the 8th. We are all tied at 3s, and we'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for hanging in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Well, you've got to have an ace in the hole, a little secret that nobody knows. Life is a gamble, a game we all play, but you've got to save something for a rainy day. You've got to learn to play your cards right if you expect to win in life. Don't put it all on the line for just 1 roll. You've got to have an ace in the hole,
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be a pitching change as Daysbel Hernandez is going to be coming on in relief. He's going to be the fifth pitcher used tonight by the Braves. So Hernandez on in relief of Dylan Lee. He is going to be entrusted to face Nick Castellanos to lead it off here for Hernandez, the right-hander on the season. This is his sixth appearance out of the bullpen for the Braves. He has worked 4 1/3 innings. He's allowed 2 hits, 2 runs. Both have been earned. He's walked 1 and struck out 3, and he's got himself an ERA of 4.15. So he is on in relief. He does not have a ton of experience. He did come up in 2023 where he appeared in 4 games for the Braves. Followed that up with 16 appearances last year. All have been in relief. Now he is going to be entrusted here to come into the game with it all locked up at 3s to face Castellanos, Realmuto, and Stott. So he has completed his tune-up tosses, and we are ready to resume the action. Our Filipino friend says the Braves are fighting back. It is true. There is a breaking ball that misses down and away, and the count is 1-0. It's been a bit of a struggle for the Braves here tonight, and for that matter, the Phillies. They're getting the pitchers that were starters deeper in the rotation. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count is 2-0. Lots of pitches in this game tonight. It's not like we're getting a matchup of Chris Sale and Aaron Nola. Breaking ball taken for a called strike. Count now is 2-1 to Castellanos. Bill back on the airwaves again tomorrow morning. We're going to call the Tampa game as there is a breaking ball waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 2-2. So if you guys are at work, want to join us, and you want to listen to some baseball that's not the Braves or the Phillies, we'll be around to do that call of that one. So hopefully you guys can pop in for that as well. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball swung on, grounded softly to third. Riley fields it on the run. He throws to first. He's going to get Castellanos on the ground out, 5-3 for the first out of the inning, and that'll bring up the catcher in JT Realmuto. Well, in 3 trips, he's also lined to third and struck out looking. Batting here with 1 gone in inning number 8. And the first pitch on the way, it is a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-0 to Realmuto. Saying earlier that Realmuto in a lot of ways is in the back end of his career. As the 1-0 on the way, it's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. Game tied at 3s, Phillies and Braves. You've traded blows here, have both of these clubs, as there's a fastball that misses down and away. Count now goes to 3-0. It was all zeros until the 6th inning. The Phillies struck first. They scored a run in the top of the 6th. As there's a fastball that misses upstairs. It's going to be ball 4. Realmuto gets himself a 1-out walk. And that is going to bring up Bryson Stott. Braves responded with 2 of their own in the bottom half of the 6th inning. And then up stepped Harper in the top of the 7th, and he had a 2-run shot to retake the lead 3-2. And then it was Austin Riley delivering a home run in the bottom half of the 7th inning, and that's where we stand at 3s. First pitch breaking ball taken at the knees for a called strike. A count is 0-1 to Stott. Stott's had a good ball game tonight. He's 2 for 3 at the plate. He's also driven in one of the Philly runs as he takes a fastball outside for a ball, and the count goes to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Throw over to first base, and getting back in time is Realmuto. Realmuto can run a bit. Even for an older catcher, he's got a couple of stolen bases already this year, and you really got to keep your eyes on him. So here comes the pitch as Hernandez delivers. It's a fastball swung on, and it's pop foul into the seats, and the count now goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Stott ready to go back at it again here against the Pitcher Hernandez, who delivers a fastball that misses up and away, and the count goes to 2-2. So 2 balls and 2 strikes. Stott has raised his season average up to 286 tonight with the 2 hits. There's a fastball that misses down and in. It's going to be 3-2. All of a sudden, for Hernandez has forgotten how to throw strikes. Some of the pitches aren't just misses, they are wild misses. In some ways, he reminds me of Darwinzon Hernandez, who used to be with the Red Sox. Darwinzon, of course, is a lefty, but similar type of build. I wonder if there's a relation or not. As the right-hander kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball down. The runner goes down to second, and Realmuto is going to steal second. And it is going to be Stott down on strikes for the second out of the inning. So Realmuto gets himself into scoring position with the stolen base. Stott gone on strikes, and that's going to leave it up to the center fielder, Brandon Marsh. Well, for Marsh, he is 0 for 3 tonight. He has flown to left. He has popped to first and struck out in his 3 trips to the plate. As the right-hander works himself to the belt. And here's the pitch. It is a breaking ball swung on and chopped foul over on the first base side. The count is quickly 0-1. Marsh entered the fray tonight batting .167, and his average is still continuing to plummet. There's a breaking ball that is waved at and missed, and the count now goes to 0-2. So no balls and 2 strikes. Hernandez kicks and fires. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's grounded foul over on the first base side. Count remains at 0-2 to Marsh. We're in the top of the 8th inning. The Braves and the Phillies are locked at 3. As the right-hander holds set, now fires. There's a breaking ball down. A good stop there by the catcher, Murphy. Realmuto is at second with 2 gone, and it's a 1-2 count here to Marsh. Looking ahead to the Braves in their half of the inning, it'll be the bottom third of the batting order slated to come to bat. De La Cruz, Kelenic, and Arcia. There's a breaking ball swung on, and it's top foul over on the third base side. Count remains at 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to Marsh. Pitch from Hernandez on the way. Breaking ball misses down and in. Count now goes to 2-2. Again, Marsh tapping both sides of the plate, waiting here on the offering from the right-hander, who kicks and delivers. It's a fastball that just misses inside, and the count now goes to 3-2. They do have the open base, but you certainly don't want to face Kyle Schwarber with 2 ducks on the pond if you're the Braves. So Hernandez holding set, now delivers. There's a breaking ball swung on. It's chopped over to first. Olsen's going to field it on the hop. He's going to take it himself, and that is going to do it. It's a ground out to 3 to end the inning. And that is going to do it here for the Phillies in the 8th. Well, they had no runs, no hits, no errors, but they did leave a runner left aboard. Your score as we move to the bottom of the 8th inning, we are all locked up at 3s. It is Braves and Phillies, 3-3 as we move to the bottom of the 8th. We'll be back in just a few. Appreciate you guys for being here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Hello, this is Eric Fox, formerly of the Oakland A's and Texas Rangers baseball teams. If you you want to learn about Japanese baseball, see Coach Fred of Last Raps Baseball. If you want baseball instruction, see Coach Fred. If you want to learn about golf, do not go to Coach Fred. Fred, what kind of club is this?
At Last Raps Baseball, we know baseball.
Welcome back, everybody. We do know baseball, and we do know that this game has been highly entertaining once we've got through the sixth inning. It is all locked up at threes, as both of these clubs are trying to scratch their way to another victory. The Phillies are 7-3 on the season. Braves are 2-8. The Braves won the first game of the series here yesterday, and so the Phillies are trying to square it up here tonight and make it all even. We are just waiting on the announcement if we will have ourselves a pitching change or if it is still going to be Joe Ross here to continue on. He'll be slated to face Brian Adela Cruz, Jared Kelenic, and Orlando Arcia. As it does look like it is going to be Ross who is going to continue on here to begin his second inning of work. So the right-hander ready to go back to work here. He had served up the home run to Austin Riley in the seventh to tie it. And the first pitch is swung on. It is lifted into deep right field, moving back onto the warning track. It's going to be over the head of Castellanos. He plays it off the wall, and he fires it into second. And that is going to hold Dela Cruz to a really long single, as he is going to lead off here the eighth inning. And that's going to bring up the right fielder, Jared Kelenic. Now, if we were watching the Japanese league, it would be a automatic bunt situation right here. I'm not sure if the Braves would do it, and I'm not sure if Kelenic can do it. Great play, by the way, by Castellanos, taking the ball off the wall on one hop and throwing a bullet to second base, holding Dela Cruz to a long single. I mean, Dela Cruz hit that ball right on the screws. So Kelenic gets his lead over at first base. Dela Cruz gets his lead at first base. Kelenic here at the plate. He does square to bunt, and it's a fastball that misses up and in, and the count is quickly 1-0. Interesting that the Braves are going to try to play a little small ball here. I don't know if one run is going to be enough with the firepower of the Phillies coming up in the next half inning. But whatever you can do to claw a run across here, you're going to try. Kelenic already squaring to bunt. Fastball misses down and in, and the count now goes to 2-0. So 2 balls and no strikes. All of a sudden now, Joe Ross forgetting how to throw strikes. It seems to be contagious for both of the teams here tonight. There's been a lot of walks in this game. Here's the pitch. Again, squaring to bunt, and he gets it down. They field it. They go to second, and it's going to be in time, and it's going to be a fielder's choice. So Kelenic not able to do it. That's going to be a fielder's choice. He's safe at first. Out at second, Dela Cruz. It goes 1-6 on the putout. He's gone for the first out of the inning. A nice play there defensively by the Phillies. It was a bang-bang play. I wonder if they're going to take a look at that. No, maybe not. I got to look at it. That would be a waste of a challenge. The first view that we saw, we thought maybe they will go back and have a peek at it, but not that one. So that brings Orlando Arcia to the plate, and the first pitch is a breaking ball taken for a called strike. The count is 0-1. Arcia 2 for 3 today. He's also driven in a run. Batting here from the right side. Against the right-handed throwing Ross, who kicks and fires. Breaking ball swung on, grounded to third. Bohm fields it. He goes to second for 1, and that's all they're going to get. The throw had taken the second baseman Stott into the runner. It's going to be a 5-4 fielder's choice that will erase Kelenic at second base. He's gone for out number 2. Arcia safe at first. And it's slated to bring up the top of the order in Michael Harris, but it's going to bring Rob Thompson out of the Philly dugout. It looks like we're going to have ourselves a pitching change. So hang tight, everybody. We're going to be back in just a couple of moments. We appreciate you guys for being here on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I'll take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is going to be Jose Alvarado coming in relief. He'll be the fourth pitcher used by the Phillies in this one, as he is going to be replacing Joe Ross. So Alvarado in relief. And Ross done for the evening. Alvarado, the lefty, is going to be facing Michael Harris, as it is going to be the top of the order coming to bat now for the Braves. Alvarado is in his fifth season with the Phillies. He's making his sixth appearance. He has worked in 5 innings. He's allowed 4 hits, 1 run earned. He's walked 2, but he has struck out 10. So the big fella coming on here in relief. And I say big, list him at 6'2", but 245 pounds. It looks like he has a little bit of extra going on around the waistline, but that doesn't impact his ability to throw strikes. At least not yet anyway. So that is going to bring Harris to the plate, who's 0 for 3 tonight. So left-hander versus the left-hander. Alvarado delivers a fastball at 99 that is center cut for a called strike, and the count's 0-1. Harris tonight is 0 for 3. He's grounded out twice. He has struck out, and he has had a sacrifice fly that's brought home a run for the Braves. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball swung on. It's chopped over to short. Turner fields it. His only play is to first, and they just nipped the speedy Harris down the line on a ground out 6-3 for the final out of the inning, and that will do it here. They had no runs in the inning. There was the benefit of 1 hit. There was no errors, and there was 1 runner left aboard. We are now through 8 complete. It is 3-3. Phillies coming to bat when we return. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us tonight on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. We'll be right back after this timeout. We'll be back in 30 seconds after this musical timeout. It is a 3-3 game as we move to the top of the 9th inning. Welcome back, everybody. It's not a safe situation, but the Braves are bringing in their 35-year-old closer, Raciel Iglesias, as he will take over here in the 9th. He is making his 4th appearance of the year. He has worked 3 innings. He has allowed himself a couple of hits, 1 run. It is earned. He has walked 1 and struck out 3. So he is coming on here to try to keep the Phillies at bay. So Iglesias in relief. Iglesias Began his career with the Cincinnati Reds. He moved over to the Angels. Then he became an Atlanta Brave midway through the 2022 season. And he has been a real steady part of the back end of the Braves bullpen. And so here comes the top of the order here to face him. It'll be Kyle Schwarber, Trey Turner, and Bryce Harper. The first pitch is a fastball at 94 for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Schwarber tonight is officially 0 for 3. He has drawn a walk. As the right-hander Iglesias kicks and fires, it's a fastball swung through and missed. The count now goes to 0-2. So way ahead in the count here is the right-hander. Iglesias is a native of Isla de la Juventud in Cuba. I don't know if I've said that right. But he's Cuban born. As that breaking ball misses down in the dirt, the count is 1-2 to Schwarber. As the right-hander rocks and delivers, there is a fastball swung on and missed, and that is going to retire Schwarber on strikes for the first out of the inning. Might have been a changeup down and away. There wasn't a whole lot of difference between his fastball and that pitch. Usually you see about a 10-mile-an-hour difference. That one came in at 90 miles an hour. So gone for out number 1 is Schwarber. That's the third time tonight Schwarber has struck out. There's the first pitch fastball delivered. This ball is lifted to deep left field. This ball is going to be trouble, and this ball is going to be gone. A home run off the bat of Trey Turner, and that got out in a big-time hurry, and the Phillies have taken a 4-3 lead. So just like that, that ball got turned around and out of here in a hurry. The second hit of the night by Turner, and the Phillies have recaptured the lead at 4-3. That is going to bring up the first baseman, Bryce Harper. I certainly wouldn't have picked that. So Harper striding in at the plate, and the pitch from Iglesias is a fastball that's taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1. Harper tonight has a 2-run homer of his own. He's also grounded into a double play and walked a couple of times. As the pitch is a fastball that swung on, and it's lifted foul into the seats down the left field line. The count now is no balls and 2 strikes. Well, if I was betting that it would have been Turner to hit the home run as opposed to Schwarber or Harper, I don't think many people would have taken that bet. There's a breaking ball that misses down, and the count is 1-2. That is Turner's first home run of the year, and a timely home run indeed. There is a fastball swung on and missed, and Harper's in the books. He's gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone, and that's going to leave it up to the third baseman, Alec Bohm. So I'll be interested to see who the Phillies would have up in the bullpen for this one here tonight. If it's going to be Romano, or is it going to be somebody different? There's a fastball that is taken for a called strike, and the count is 0-1 to Bohm. Bohm 0 for 4 in this one. He struck out 3 times, and he's also grounded to third as he takes a fastball that just misses outside, and the count now runs even to 1-1. So 1 ball and 1 strike. Braves are in a deficit here, as there's a breaking ball swung on and tap foul over on the third base side. Now the count goes to 1-2. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. For a team that's not swinging the bat very well, being Atlanta, they've put themselves in a difficult situation here. There's a fastball that's taken for a called third strike. Bohm doesn't like it. He's down. That's the golden sombrero for him tonight. He's going to let the home plate umpire know his thoughts, and that is going to do it here, as he is in the books for the third out of the inning. Well, the big blow in the inning was the solo shot off the bat of Trey Turner. They had 1 run, 1 hit, no errors, and nobody left the board. Moving to the bottom of the ninth, that is the Phillies 4 and the Braves 3. Stick around, everybody. The climax of this is coming back in just a couple of moments. Appreciate you for being here with us today on the Last Raps Baseball YouTube channel. Be right back after this. We got ourselves a 4-3 ball game as we move to the bottom of the ninth inning. We'll be back after this musical timeout to bring it home for you. It is Phillies 4, Braves 3. We'll be right back after this. Well, we're definitely in the deep water here as we are moving ourselves to the bottom half of inning number 9. As the next 3 hitters to come to bat here for the Braves will be Ozzie Albies, Marcell Ozuna, and Matt Olson. As we are just waiting on the confirmation here as Alvarado is looking to get himself a 4-inning save. He is back out to start the 9th inning. Albies, Ozuna, and Olson. Tough part of the batting order here. It's not going to be a walk in the park for the left-hander, as it is Albies who digs himself in. He has turned himself around. He's batting from the right side. Haven't seen that tonight from him. As the first pitch from Alvarado is on the way. It's a fastball at the knees at 100 for a called strike. Ooh. Albies tonight is 1 for 4. He has singled in his 4 trips. He has grounded out, he's popped out, and struck out. As the lefty kicks and delivers, there's a breaking ball swung on and fouled away. The count remains at 0-2 to Ozzie Albies. So no balls and 2 strikes. Redneck Nation says, let's go Philly. Yeah, well, you're going to have to try to close it out here. There's a fastball swung on at 100 and fouled away. The count remains at 0-2 to Ozzie Albies. Welcome everybody into the channel tonight who has joined us late. All the scoring has come from the 6th inning onward as the pitch on the way. There's a breaking ball swung on. It is lined foul into the netting down the left field line, and the count remains at 0-2 to Albies. Difference in this game is a solo shot from off the bat of Trey Turner in the top of the 9th inning that has given the Phillies a 4-3 lead. As the lefty holds himself to the set, and here comes the pitch from Alvarado. Fastball misses upstairs, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Test the mettle of the Philly bullpen and the closer Alvarado here. As it is 1 ball and 2 strikes, there is a fastball that swung on and fouled away. And the count remains at 1-2, so 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ozzie Albies really making the lefty work here. This is going to be the 7th pitch of the at-bat. As Alvarado holds to the set position. And the pitch is on the way. It's a breaking ball that bounces up to the plate. The count now goes even at 2-2. It's one way to start the inning is you can take the pitcher deep into the count, soften him up for certainly some of the more powerful hitters that will come to bat here. So here comes the 8th pitch of the at-bat, the 2-2 pitch on the way. Fastball misses upstairs. It's now 3-2 to Albies. Phillies and Braves 4-3. After this game is done, we'll give you the recap and we'll give you the out-of-town scoreboard before we sign off. Fastball swung on, another one at 100 miles an hour, and another one fouled off. You know, if the lefty Alvarado had a change piece here, he could pull the string on, he might be able to get Albies way out in front. So here comes the 3-2 pitch, but you throw it 3-2. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, fielded on the backhand side by Stott. He throws to first, and that is going to retire Albies. That's a tough at bat. Ground out 4-3 for the first out of the inning on a 10-pitch at bat here by Albies. And that is going to bring up the designated hitter in Marcell Ozuna, so it doesn't get any easier here for Alvarado. Our friend WTO Brad says, if Philly wins and the Warriors win, my 2-leg will hit. Congratulations to you, Brad. There's the fastball taken at the knees for a called strike. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Again, the lefty holding to the set. He kicks and delivers. Whoa, there's a fastball at 100 that comes under the nose of Ozuna and backs him off the plate. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. That'll clear your sinuses in a hurry, as it has Ozuna moonwalking out of the batter's box. So 1 ball and 1 strike it is. As again, the lefty ready to go. As the pitch is on the way, it's a fastball that just misses off the inside corner. Oh, that pitch looked good. Our friend Hayden in here says, come on, Phillies, win this game. Well, it is theirs to lose right now as they have a 4-3 lead here in the 9th inning with nobody on. And the pitch on the way is a fastball that misses way upstairs. Now the count goes to 3-1. Brad asks if there's any outs. Yeah, it was ground out by Albies to start the inning. 1 in the books here, but you don't want to put a base runner on because there's firepower that can bring the runners home. There's a fastball swung on, and it's grounded through the 6-hole into left field. And that is going to be a base hit here for Ozuna, and that's going to bring the go-ahead run to the plate in Matt Olson. Braden Howell says, let's go Braves, and Evan also in the house, and Jackson says, come on Braves as well. Well, that ball just got past the diving Trey Turner into left field. I would think they're going to probably run for Ozuna here. I'd be shocked if they didn't. It is going to be Stuart Fairchild, the recently acquired Fairchild, who came over from Cincinnati in the ball game to run for Ozuna. And that brings Matt Olson to the plate. Olson tonight has a couple of walks. He's officially 0 for 2. And the first pitch is a fastball swung on, and it's cued foul on the third base side home plate. The count is 0-1. So no balls and 1 strike. Fred Hayden is in the house, as he said he wants the Phillies. We got Braves fans in here too. That's great. Welcome everybody to the stream. Here comes the 0-1 pitch. Fastball center cut at 100 for a called strike. Oh, you're not going to get better than that. No balls and 2 strikes to Matt Olson. Again, the left-hander Alvarado working himself to the set. Runner Fairchild establishing his lead at first. Fastball swung on and foul tipped right into the mid of the catcher Realmuto, and Olson's going to be gone for the second out of the inning. So 2 gone here, but the problem is it's going to bring Austin Riley to the plate. Riley has already homered here tonight. He had hit the home run in the 7th inning to tie the game back up. And he is coming to bat here with the runner at first and 2 gone. And the first pitch is a fastball taken for a called strike. That was at 101. So no balls and 1 strike here to Austin Riley. I don't know about that pitch. If you're a Philly fan, you pump the fist because you just got a break. Here comes the pitch. There's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and now Riley's in the hole at 0-2. So now the Braves are down to their final strike. Alvarado looking to try to finish it off as the Phillies looking for their 8th win of the year. Here comes the pitch. Breaking ball misses inside, and the count now goes to 1-2. Brad says it comes down to this, looking for the strikeout. Austin Riley looking to deposit it in the seats, though he's got other plans in his mind. And here's the pitch. Fastball swung on, grounded up the middle, past the glove of Turner into center field. Rounding second and heading to third is Fairchild. He's going to slide in there safely. And the Braves keep it going here as it's going to bring Sean Murphy to the plate with runners on the corners and 2 gone. So Austin Riley able to fight off the pitch inside to ground it up the middle. They had Turner played more into the 6-hole there. But that is Going to put runners on the corners with 2 gone, and it brings Murphy to the plate. Murphy tonight is officially 1 for 2. He's got a single and 2 trips. He's also been hit by a pitch and walked. So he bats here, facing the left-hander Alvarado, who kicks and delivers a fastball at 101 that just misses inside, and the count is 1-0. Murphy back down to the 500 mark. He is 3 for 6 on the season since coming off the injured list. And the pitch on the way. Fastball taken for a called strike, and the count now is 1-1. Got to tell you, I don't see a lot of the Phillies all that often, but Alvarado is filling up the tank here, and he's pumping the gas at 100 plus. Pretty impressive. Here comes the pitch. Fastball center cut at 100, and Murphy takes it for a called strike, and the count now is 1-2. So here we are again, second match point, as the Braves again are down to their final strike. As the lefty Alvarado is ahead in the count here at 1-2. And here comes the pitch. Fastball swung on it is going to be popped foul into the seats over on the first base side. Count remains at 1-2 to Murphy. So I guess that would be the third match point that we have on our hands if this was tennis. So 1 ball and 2 strikes. Murphy batting here against the left-handed throwing Alvarado. Runners at the corners, 2 gone. Pitch on the way. Fastball misses down and in. And the count now goes to 2-2 on Murphy. Everybody's biting their nails here on both sides of the coin. It is the Phillies game to lose, the Braves for them to win. Here comes the pitch. And there's a breaking ball swung on and missed, and that is going to do it as Murphy goes down on strikes. And the Phillies are going to get the win here 8-3. The home run by Trey Turner in the top of the 9th inning. The difference in this one, your final score is Philadelphia 4 and the Braves 3. We appreciate everybody who jumped in here tonight. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and there were 2 runners left aboard. Final score 4-3. We'll be back to wrap it up for you in just a couple moments. We appreciate you guys for jumping in here. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow. Hopefully you guys will come in and join us on your day at work. We'll be right back after this, and we'll wrap it up for you in just a moment.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Namaste. Hey, I hope you guys have been enjoying the game. My name is Hollis. I've got a YouTube channel called Another Hollis Build. I love baseball cards. I open up brand new product for you guys. I open up old stuff. I do breaks. I do auctions. All kinds of stuff concerning baseball. I'm Friars faithful, Padres to the end. I also love Garbage Pail Kids and my animals. I have a ton of animals. It's like a mini petting zoo here around my house. I also love my city. San Diego, baby. I take you all around the city and show you what's up. If you guys dig stuff like that, cruise on over and check it out. It's Another Hollis Build. If you dig it, subscribe. I'd really appreciate to have more follow me along on the journey. Hey, either way, you guys have a wonderful day or a beautiful, beautiful evening. No matter which one it is, make sure that you make it great, my friends. Big up Last Raps Baseball. Yeah, Freddie, let's go. One love and peace. Yeah, man.
Welcome back, everybody. It is much appreciated. That was a pretty good Major League Baseball game. Normally, we do the late night NPB stuff, so if you happen to be around, especially on the weekends or midweek sometimes, come on in and check us out. Well, we'll give you the roundup here, and then we're going to give you the out-of-town scoreboard, and we will call it a night after that. There was no scoring until the 6th inning, and the Philadelphia Phillies got on the board with 1 out. Max Kepler had singled. And then with 2 out, GT Realmuto singled, and then Bryson Stott singled to bring home Kepler to give the Phillies an early 1-0 lead. The Braves came back in the bottom half of the 6th. A leadoff walk to Sean Murphy after a ground out by Brian De La Cruz. It was another walk to Jared Kelnick. Then Orlando Arcia drove home Murphy with the first run for the Braves to make the score 1-1. And then up stepped Michael Harris, and he drove a sacrifice fly into deep right field to bring home the second run of the inning and give the Braves a 2-1 lead. Well, the Phillies didn't let that one phase them, as in the top of the seventh with one out, Trey Turner singled and up stepped Bryce Harper, and he deposited a 2-run shot into the right center field seats. And that made the score line 3-2. The Braves came back with one of their own in the seventh with 2 out. Austin Riley hit a solo shot, and that brought the score even at 3. And then it was all the way to the ninth inning with 1 out in the top of the ninth. Trey Turner hit a absolute frozen rope into the left center field seats, his first of the year, to give the Phillies a 4-3 lead, and they never looked back. Well, the win tonight goes to Alvarado. The loss is tagged to Raciel Iglesias. Again, your final score is 4-3. Taking a quick look at the out-of-town scoreboard before we sign off for the night, we'll give you the rundown from around baseball. Currently underway, there's only one other game. The Brewers are leading the Rockies 10-2. That is in the bottom of the 5th inning. Finals for around baseball today. The Yankees beat the Tigers 4-3. Max Fried gets the win. He goes to 2-0. Tyler Holton the loss. He's 1-1. Mark Leiter Jr. gets the save. That's his first of the year. The Pirates walked off the Cardinals in 13 innings, 2-1. Pirates 2-5-0. Cardinals 1-7-1. Lawrence gets the win in relief for the Pirates. Roycroft takes the loss for the Cards. The Marlins knocked off the Mets 5-0 today. 5-10-0 for the Fish. 0-2-1 for the Metropolitans. Max Meyer gets the win. He's 1-1. Taylor McGill takes the loss. He's 2-1. The Texas Rangers knocked off the Cubs today 6-2. It was 6-11-0 for the Rangers, 2-4-0 for the Cubbies. Tyler Mahle gets the win. He goes to 2-0. Shota Imanaga takes the loss. He's now 2-1. Padres knocked off the Athletics 2-1. Vasquez picks up the win. He goes to 1-1. Beto takes the loss for the A's. He's 1-1. Suarez already gets his 6th save of the season for the Padres. 2-12-0 for the Padres, 1-2-1 for the Athletics. Again, your final 2-1 there in that one. The D-backs skunked the Orioles today, 9-0 in the desert. Brandon Pfaadt got the win. He goes to 2-1. Kramer takes the loss for the Orioles. It was 9-14-0 for the Snakes, and the Birds were at 0-4-0 for them. Again, 9-0 your final. The Giants walked off the Reds in 10 innings in San Francisco. It was 8-12-1 for San Fran, 6-6-1 for the Reds. Miller gets the win in relief for the Giants. Pagan takes the loss. He drops to 0-1. Dodgers beat the Nationals tonight 6-5. It was 6-8-0 for the Dodgers, 5-5-0 for Washington. Fireworks in the first inning. If you got there late, you'll be ticked off. Dodgers scored 4 times in the first. Washington came back with 3 of their own. The game settled down. Kirby Yates gets the win in relief. He's 1-0. Salazar takes the loss. He's 0-1. Blake Trinan gets his 2nd save of the year. In Seattle, they came from behind to walk off the Astros today. It looked like the Astros were going to have a comfortable victory, as it was 3 runs in the bottom of the 9th. A walk-off walk from Randy Arozarena that did the icing on the cake, as a J-Rod single had knocked in a pair just before that. Mariners 7-7-2 for the win. Astros 6-10-0. Casey Lawrence the win in relief. Brian Abreu takes the loss. He drops to 0-1. Guardians beat the White Sox 3-2. 3-3-1 for the Guardians. 2-8-0 for the Chi Sox. Sewald gets the win in relief. Burke takes the loss. Clase is getting the save. Again, your final score 3-2 for the Guardians. In Boston, the Blue Jays get a victory against the Red Sox. They go to 8-5 on the season. Red Sox drop a game below 500. 2-6-1 for the Jays, 1-4-0 for the Sox. Hoffman gets the win. He goes to 1-0. Winkowski takes the loss. He's 0-1. And Sandlin gets the save for the Jays. The Rays and the Angels, 5-4 for Tampa over the Angels, 5-7-0 for the Rays, 4-7-0 for the Angels. Pepeo gets the win. He goes to 1-1. Yusei Kikuchi takes the loss. He's 0-2. Fairbanks gets the save. It's his 2nd of the year. And the other ball game that we were watching in on tonight, it was the Twins knocking off the Royals 4-0. 4-7-0 for the Twinkies, 0-3-0 for the Royals. Ryan gets the win. He goes to 1-1 for the Twins. Lugo takes the loss. He's 1-1 for the Royals. And once again, everybody, your final score here tonight, 4-3 for the Phillies. We appreciate everybody who stopped in tonight to listen to the game. We appreciate everybody who does listen to our channel and check in, whether you listen live or on delay. Always great to have you with us. That's it for tonight. We'll be back on the airwaves tomorrow. It is going to be the Tampa Bay Rays and the Angels. We'll call that one in the morning. Hopefully you can join us while you're at work or whether you're listening to us on the drive home or to and from. We appreciate you guys for being here. We'll be back again tomorrow. Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you soon.